All right, so we got a GDI versus GDI matchup. Strong Arm versus Jackson, which you love to see. Of course, we're on Bullseye, so Strong Arm is pretty good on this map. As you see, the middle section there has a place for the turret to go down. But we're seeing a variation on the GDI Suzaku deck running Mohawk and Talon instead of Drone Swarm and Orca. But then on the other side, we got 4 Air running Talon, Orca, Hammerhead, and Borka. That is a huge overcommitment on Air, because if he had brought Slingshot, thank God he didn't. If he had brought Slingshot, I mean, that could have been pretty challenging, especially with maybe something else to support, like Talon or something like that. I don't know. Between the two of them, though, I think Borka is going to be a pretty challenging unit for Mad Mike to deal with, considering he's only got Pitbull and Talon. So I don't really fancy his chances here. What do you make of this matchup, Blade?
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Strong Arm on this map.
Yep.
Strong Arm is fantastic on this map. Like you say, the Borka is like the biggest issue, but I think the versatility of Mad Mike's deck, his ability to make infantry and vehicles and air that all shoot air, whereas yours truly is going to have to make things like Talons that suck versus Pitbulls. He's going to have to make Orcas that are bad versus missiles. You know, he has to make units that are going to struggle against some of Mad Mike's units, whereas Mad Mike really just needs to make anti-air. Like, he just needs to spam anti-air. And his Talons and his APCs will double up as anti-infantry as well. So they're going to be super good in this matchup. But like you said, Borka is going to be the one that is the hardest for Mad Mike to deal with. But I think overall his deck is going to just have way higher efficiency against all of yours truly's targets. It's going to come down to whether or not these Borkas clean house. That's what it's going to be about.
Well, speaking of Borka, here it comes, boosted, clearing that first APC. It's going to not clear the second one, almost does, but it doesn't have quite enough to do it. And of course, with Borka, you do have to clear both the missiles and the APC. So APC still does tank pretty well against the Borka. It just depends on how many yours truly ends up building. But here we see the missiles pushing up onto that middle platform, getting annihilated by this turret and the APC combined. Borka coming in, reloaded again, missing quite a few of its bombs, not getting great value. And it is still alive, so he's going to be able to come back, but gets a second Borka online. It looks like yours truly is going to come in and sneak this missile. Talon's going to go down, but this Borka will clear the missiles on that pad. Should clear this Pitbull as well, but doesn't quite do it. In fact, this is a big problem here. Borka needs to clear those rifles, and just does. Borka coming in on the bottom right, and is it going to be enough? Oh, it's so close. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. That was really close there. I thought yours truly was on the verge of losing that missile, but he does manage to get there.
I gotta agree. I thought Mad Mike was going to take that one, but both those Borkas living with like negligible hit points, both of them dying to one missile after the missile fires. But yeah, it just didn't quite kill them in time. They held out long enough, and that gets yours truly the missile. Obviously, the longer this game goes, the more favored yours truly is, because these Borkas are expensive and they're very powerful. The more of them he can make, the harder it's going to be for Mad Mike to win this game.
So he's got another Borka coming onto the field. Of course, Mad Mike with that APC holding steady. The Borka should clear it. This Talon will be a bit of an issue, so he's going to have to back off a little bit with this Borka. But now he's got Hammerhead coming online finally to start shutting down these Talons, which is really what he needs to do. And then use a combination of the Borka and their Hammerhead to clear both the Pitbulls and the Talons. But now we got that turn on the middle platform, about to chew through that Talon. There it goes. Harvester pull from yours truly. Great play there. Will it be enough, though? We got 2 Pitbulls coming in. APC moving out of that far right. It's going to hold against that Hammer. He moves it back onto the other pad, though. He's moving it back and forth. Not sure what he's trying to accomplish, but finally clears that Talon, and now he's got that bottom left pad blocked down. And there it is. Mad Mike taking the 3rd missile, winning this first game.
Yeah, I think that Harvester pull just a smidgen too soon. Yours truly just didn't have an Orca Bomber money, and he pulled the Harvester before he got it, and that was really the unit he needed. So, nice play, but a little bit too soon. Needed to wait a little bit. Needed to wait until he had another Orca Bomber, I think, and then pull the Harv. Alright, so here we have the game 2, Mad Mike versus yours truly. Looks like we got the same commanders. Don't know if we're going to see the same decks, but we'll find out.
I expect at least one unit change, but we'll see.
The map is fairly similar to the previous one. We're on Cauldron now. Strong Arm's slightly worse because now the missile is in that center tile instead of there being a gap. But the map is fairly similar. As you can see, it's these 3 pads close together in the middle. So yeah, we do see exactly the same decks. Very surprised to see exactly the same decks.
Yeah, I thought there would have been one change, like maybe Mad Mike swaps up like Pitbull out for Slingshot, or just something like that. But well, you know what? If it works once, maybe it'll work a second time. So
yeah, I agree. I thought for sure we would see, or maybe yours truly would put a vehicle in his deck so he isn't all in on the air. But yeah, I kind of expected Mad Mike to, or maybe like Mad Mike to swap his Talon into a Hammerhead or something, or like maybe cut the Mohawk because it had no targets, you know. I thought we'd see something, but yeah, no changes.
Actually, yeah. That is a good point. Mohawk is completely useless.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Mad Mike was comfortable with the deck. But yeah, yours truly... Yeah, I'm surprised too. So we'll see how this plays out. But here we are. We got Orca coming up to the bottom, or not? So yeah, it is an Orca coming up to the bottom. We're going to get a load up on the Harvester. It's not going to be enough though. Of course, Mad Mike's got all 3 pads, so he's going to clear this missile pretty easily. There it is. Yeah, just yours truly was not building units, and really was so invested into his air plan that he didn't have any inexpensive units to pull onto the pads quickly enough. So
yeah,
Mad Mike the missile.
Yours truly decided to go very early into the air, kind of just let Mad Mike have the first missile there. But he is playing this Orca Bomber deck. His game plan is clearly to beat his opponent with expensive units. That's why he's going so hard on trying to get this Harvester here.
Oh my, that boosted missile squad. Ooh,
yeah.
a little bit much there.
Yeah, a boosted missile squad is still going to lose to 2 Talons, so...
Well, here we are. So we've got those 3 Talons up on the top map. They're going to clear this 1 Talon, completely annihilate it. 1 does finally go down, but these Talons are low health, so they will go down to these missiles here. It's going to be 1 shot each. And now we got APCs coming out in numbers, 2 of them so far. Borka coming as well. Boosted's going to come into position, clearing... Well, we'll only clear 1 of these APCs, so it's not going to be quite enough. In fact, yours really doesn't have enough money to really clear these pads, so these APCs are going to get some serious value here. And I believe there's going to be a turret coming down just to secure the victory, and there it is. Mad Mike takes the second missile in real quick fashion, winning the second game.
Yeah, and this is kind of the issue with yours truly's deck. He needs like Hammerhead to fight the Talons, but then he needs Orca Bomber to fight the ground, and both of those are really expensive. Yeah. So Mad Mike can make cheap units like Pitbulls and Talons, and then yours truly needs to respond with very expensive units, which he simply can't afford that early in the game. Okay, here we are, round 2. Udzu versus Victor Bansamer. We've got Solomon taking on Oksana. I think we're probably going to see some Infernos from Victor on this one.
Yeah, most likely. Inferno is pretty decent on Fighting Pit, but Solomon's not great, so I don't really understand the choice of Solomon here, but, well, he is a new player, so, you know, maybe he just doesn't know how to play the maps very well, but we'll have a look at the rest of the decks and see what kind of units they put together.
I think Solomon's okay, and I'll tell you why. So all the pads are touching, so there is potential to hit units on 2 pads with an iron cannon. Like you can clear a pad and hit a unit at the back of a second pad. But the main reason I like a Solomon on this map, at least a little bit, is this rock that blocks people from getting from their base to the middle forces units into this choke point. So if you iron cannon around here, like at the top left of the like the left-hand tile of the top pad, you can hit incoming units as well. And I think that's pretty cool. But that's
okay.
Yeah, so that's why I think Solomon's okay. Just because there is this like there's like this choke point that units have to go through.
Well, other than that, so I mean the decks. Well, okay, so this is brought a really unusual deck. He doesn't have any opener units. It's cheapest being that Rhino.
I think Rhino is a real opening unit. I think that's okay.
It's okay. It's just he doesn't have anything else, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna have a bit of. I think he's gonna have a bit of problem with maybe like. Well, he won't have a problem with missile troops, but without really anything cheap to deal with incoming lasers, that might be a bit of an issue, but we'll see how this plays out. So we've got, so far, Udzu losing a bit of value with this Pitbull. We've got the bikes clearing the Pitbull with the rifles to support. This double Rhino, they're going to completely annihilate those militants there. We got Jump Jets fighting the lasers on the top pad, and of course, so far, nothing really going on too much. Neither player really making a huge push, but now we got Shock Troopers, those golden Shock Troopers coming out onto that top pad. They're going to go and shoot right through those lasers and riflemen. These bikes are going to be too great, and actually, so far, Udzu's got a better hold on these pads. Missile coming down to it. Jump Jet's moving onto that back pad. Boosted Buggy going to clear through those Shock Troopers, but not going to be quick enough. We've got people coming in to support, and now switching with the lasers. Nice micro from Victor here. Is he going to come back and win this missile? It's actually looking pretty close so far, but now these Jump Jets should last long enough. Militants move over, but this Pitbull should clear them. However, Pitbull on that top pad too low in health, and now Victor's pushed forward. He's got all 3 pads. Oh, but Ion Cannon coming down. Will this be enough? And almost. Pitbull's going to get on there. Will the boosted bikes make it in time? They do. And actually, this has been a really interesting missile so far. Neither player being able to contest, but there it is. Finally, Victor's going to get onto the pad, and he takes it. Oh my god, that was actually a really intense missile.
Pretty intense missile, like you said. I think Udzu just ran out of money because the iron cannon was so expensive. And then he made a small mistake by going... He should have gone Jump Jets instead of Pitbull after the iron cannon, because Victor needed to get a fast unit onto the pad, and Pitbull doesn't kill bikes as quickly as Jump Jets do. Oh wow, here's double Inferno from Victor. Looks like he's gonna go for the base kill here.
Oh man,
Oh,
yeah.
he's
So
going for
he
the
drops
half.
it off on the Harvester, and of course the Harvester's not gonna be able to get on there without taking damage. So he's backing it off, and this is gonna be a problem. He's not able to harvest at the moment, so money-wise, Victor's way ahead, and now he's actually pretty much a double Harvester situation because of his economy advantage. And he's gonna start spamming these Infernos. As you see, now he's going over to the base. He's gonna clear this Pitfall. Boosted Inferno moving over to the base as well, and these 3 Infernos are going to wreck house. Look at that, 3 of them firing all at once, almost clearing the base down to half, and this ain't looking too good here for Udzu.
Yeah, Victor actually missed with one of his Inferno bombs. He only hit 1 tile there, which is why he hasn't killed the base yet. But I think it's dead now. I think the fire will kill it even if the Inferno doesn't bomb again, and the point Inferno does bomb again.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Second game, Victor versus Udzu.
Oh,
Loving the
to
Kane.
Oh,
Loving
yes.
the Kane. Obviously, you don't see
That's
Kane
great.
that much in tournaments because he is terrible. But I've got to say, the more Kane I see, the more I love Kane. Kane was already my favorite commander. When Kane was playable, I played only Kane. I love Kane. He's my favorite commander in the game. The more I see him, the more excited I get by Kane, I have to say. Like, for a
not bad on this
while
map
there, I was sad at how bad he was. But now,
Yeah.
I'm just ecstatic to see him. I don't care if he sucks.
And you know what? On a map like this, though, the tower's not going to be. It's going to be pretty good because we've got 2 pads.
Yeah.
The 2 range on the tower will reach both of them, and it's got good placement options. So it's not a bad choice here. Like you say, though, maybe not the best commander to use, but hey, you know, it's this is Udzu. He's going to surprise us, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, Kane is terrible, but if you're going to play Kane on a map, this is an okay map to play him on. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty hyped to see some Kane here.
So we're seeing some pretty interesting decks from both players. Of course, we see Udzu switching to Inferno. He saw Victor playing it, so he's like, you know, I like Inferno. I'm gonna try that out. And then Victor using this Basilisk with Phantom deck. Of course, he's got a pretty reasonable deck to deal with what Udzu's got because of the fact that he's running Phantom. The Basilisk, though, is only going to have really just the Flames and the Bikes and the Buggy to target, so might be a bit of a wasted slot there, but he should be able to contest this with the 5 units he's got.
Yeah, the Phantoms are going to be the most critical unit, I think, on both sides. Like, because the Phantom, the Inferno is so good versus ground that if you can control the skies, then you tend to win. So a lot of games with Inferno Phantom against a Phantom come down to the Phantom mirror. Here is the first Inferno.
Yeah, coming down,
Ooh,
targets the
not
lasers
having a good
instead of the
job.
Bikes.
Yeah, didn't have a good time there. Went down pretty
No,
easily,
so-
didn't get much value.
And this is unfortunate because now Victor's pressuring the Harvester. I don't think he's going to get the Harvester kill. The attack bike's Harvester damage just got reduced, so it is going to take a while for it to clear it. But, you know, it's not great because Victor's going to start to put on the pressure. Now we got a Basilisk coming out as well. We're at 1:40 into the game, so the economy's almost at full ramp, and we're not even past the first missile yet.
Yeah, and Victor is pretty happy for this game to go long because his Basilisk is so much more powerful than the Inferno. But
It
actually,
is.
it's almost dead already. He's almost managed to lose his first Basilisk. He hasn't really done much with it yet. He did take out a Phantom, though, by virtue of the Basilisk tanking it. So you can kind of say that it's gained value simply because it caused a Phantom to die.
Right. So here we are. So Inferno's reloaded, coming out. It's going to get onto this middle pad, but actually it's going to target the Militants instead. I would have pushed it onto the pad instead, so it might be a slight misplay. This could cost him this missile, but Inferno's going to sit there. He needs to back it off, though. It's about to start taking damage, and there it is. It is going to reload in time to take down this Buggy, but then the lasers are going to clear it, and unfortunate, that's not great value there for Udzu. So
Yeah.
this is actually looking quite good for Victor. He's starting to get his Basilisk online. Boosted is going to clear just about everything on the ground, and now all he needs to do is push a unit onto that bottom pad, and he's going to secure this missile.
Yeah, a little bit sad to see Udzu not microing that Inferno back after it's dropped its bomb. Inferno is a very powerful unit because it gets that massive speed increase after it fires and it can run away. If you don't have it run away, then it doesn't do anything. Wow, and an Obelisk here to kill a single laser troop.
That is the fastest I've ever seen a Kane Tower go down. That boosted Basilisk just annihilated it. But he got the bikes on there. The boosted Basilisk should clear it in time. There it is. He's going to try and steal this missile, though, and it's
Oh, close.
really not going to matter. Finally starts targeting the bottom pad. And really, Victor has this game under lock. He's just, I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. I think he's just, it's a little bit of BM, I got to say. So,
Yeah, it
but
looks like
it's
he's just
okay.
having fun. He's just having fun with his
There it is.
Basilisk.
Yeah. So now he's got the 3 Basilisks. He's completely stalwarted this game. He's just gonna go after the base, and that should be game.
Yep. I don't see Udzu managing to stop this Basilisk aggression on his base. But maybe. We'll have to wait and see. It's not looking good, though. We've got one Basilisk trained on the base. It does go down, though. The other two were killing bikes. So actually, like, he might... If this Phantom reloads, he could take out both Basilisks. He does. Base not dead yet.
Well, all he needs to do is throw like one unit over there and it's going to be game. I mean, we're, geez, 4 minutes into this game already.
Victor did lose his Harvester, though, and he is out of money now. So, yeah. Utsu, I mean, Victor has thrown away a lot of the lead he had by doing this. But he gets another Harvester kill, makes another Basilisk. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't see Utsu stopping 2 Basilisks.
No, I don't think so. This bike volley won't be enough. The Basilisk just needs a couple of seconds,
and there it is. Yeah. All right, Shadow Phoenix versus Odyssey, round 3. We've got a Jade Mirror. It's exciting.
That is exciting. I love Jade Mirrors. The deck should be interesting. We'll see who's brought Chem Warrior or Chem Buggy, or maybe both. But I love Jade Mirrors. I think they're one of the more interesting mirrors to watch.
I agree. I used to think that Jade Mirrors came down largely to who used better Catalyst missiles. Now, once we've the stage we're at now, it feels a lot like Jade Mirrors come down to who wins the first missile, because usually the other person just bombs the base. But I think what's really interesting about Jade Mirrors is that if you win the first missile, then go ham on the opponent's base, but lose the second missile because you're going for their base, they can just bomb your base back.
Yeah.
So it's this really interesting situation where, like, normally with a Jade deck, once you win the first missile and bomb your opponent's base, their base is so low that you're always going to win. But because they can do it back to you, you don't have the same like guarantee of winning the game, which is really interesting, I think.
Well, and in the mirror, deck plays a huge role. So in this case, we got Odyssey playing Chem Buggy, which is great against the Chem Warriors, but then Shadow Phoenix has brought Shade, and Odyssey really only has Bikes and Banshee to deal with that. And then as soon as Shadow Phoenix gets his Phantoms online, it's going to be pretty challenging for Odyssey to get value out of his War Factory units. So, I think Odyssey might have a better chance in the first missile, but I really feel like Shadow Phoenix is going to get better as the game goes on.
I agree. I think, like exactly what we said, Odyssey is, as you can see now, he's massively favored at the start of the game. This Chem Buggy beats up on the Chem Warriors, so he has anti-infantry covered. Shadow Phoenix is really struggling with it. But once the Shades start rolling, if he can kill Chem Buggies with Shades, and then can use Phantom to take care of the Banshees, he should be very, very well set up to win the game.
All right, so Odyssey pulling this Chem Buggy out of the middle pad. Another Shade coming to greet it. With the laser, should be enough to clear it in one go. But, of course, Odyssey fighting back with these militants coming onto the middle pad. And that's been so far a problem for Shadow Phoenix. He's not building his Chem Warriors to shut them down. So these militants have been getting some pretty good value. But finally, actually starting to lose it as we get another Shade coming down. It's going to clear this bike. These militants on the middle pad will hold steady. Banshee coming out down as well. We'll stall the missile for a bit longer. So this is kind of what we're going to see for a little bit here, is a bit of back and forth gameplay until Shadow Phoenix finally gets his Chem Warriors out to shut things down with the Shades to help support. But actually now Odyssey coming back, he's got that Shade taken down by the Banshee, and there it is, Odyssey taking the first missile, just like we talked about.
Yeah, the Banshee was huge. The Banshee tech switch won him that first missile, which is exactly what we expected to see, to be honest. Shadow Phoenix actually built these chems when he had 100. He could have built a Phantom and potentially killed the Banshee and stalled the missile out again, but instead he went Chem Warrior, which I think was a misplay. And now Odyssey is probably going to try and go for the base kill, but trying to get a base kill with a Chuggy against a Shade player, actually impossible. There's just no way. You're never going to get your Chuggy to their base and get Clouds down against Shades. So it's going to come down to it. It's not going to come down to base kills. Although Shadow Phoenix could definitely go for a base kill. Chem Warriors can make it to a base.
Yeah, so, he's got 2 of them sitting on the pads, and you could be right. That might be the way for Shadow Phoenix to come out of this. For Odyssey, I think, like you said, the base kill is not going to make a lot of sense. More, he could just utilize the Chem Clouds created by Shadow Phoenix's Chem Warriors to create interesting tempo plays. But let's see what happens. So we got these bikes moving onto the middle pad. Shade's about to reload and clear them. This Phantom's got a lot of health to tank, but he's going to throw it over to this far right pad, which is going to lose to those lasers. Chem Warrior with the Shade clears that Chem Buggy, and actually, no, wait a minute. We see a bit of stalling going on. Shade clearing the bikes finally on that left, and this Banshee's going to be too slow. Doesn't make it in time. Shadow Phoenix comes back and wins the second missile.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you were predicting at the start of the game, Jeffrey. Once we get to the mid game and Shadow Phoenix has that Phantom dominating the Banshees, it's really hard for Odyssey to beat the Shade plus Phantom. And yep, here you see the Chem Warrior can make it to the base where the Chem Buggy really can't. The Shadow Phoenix even manages to get that damage onto the base. I don't know if that's going to be relevant, honestly. Like, maybe he's going to win the game off of it, but maybe it'll just be a free missile game and that he's just wasted resources there. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's going to be the question. So, like we talked about, these Phantoms are getting really good value. We coming out with these lasers. Actually, all Shadow Phoenix needs to do is go to the base, but nice movement there. He got rid of the Phantom with the laser and the Banshee. The Shade unloads, but doesn't have great base damage, so it's not going to work quite well. Now we see him trying to sneak through the bottom, but these double lasers are there to block it. And can he stop these Chem Warriors from getting to the base? But however, Odyssey is on these pads, so as long as Odyssey can stop this Chem Warrior, he might be able to sneak a missile. But here we are, double Catalyst missile coming down. Huge explosions, doesn't quite get there, and now Shadow Phoenix fighting to get to the base. He's not going to get it, and it's so close. Is it going to do it? No, it does not. What a game! Excellent gameplay from both these players. So close. Odyssey managed to just sneak out ahead. Wow.
Shadow Phoenix missiled the cloud next to Odyssey's base instead of missiling the base. If he'd missiled the base, he would have won the game.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he missiled the cloud. He missiled the unit next to the base that had a cloud on it at the same time as Odyssey cloud missiled the Chem Warrior, which meant that there was only one explosion because obviously the cloud was gone from the first explosion by the time the second missile hit, which meant he got the missile damage in from Odyssey's missile but didn't get the missile damage from his own missile and therefore did not finish off the base. Also, the Banshee ate 2 shots from the Phantom because the Phantom has radar, so it couldn't stop it from firing. So the Banshee accidentally ate 2 shots, which meant the Phantom didn't finish their base. That was an insanely close game. That was absolutely crazy. All right, here we are with the second game, Odyssey versus Shadow Phoenix. Odyssey has switched to GDI Liang here. Shadow Phoenix looks like he's sticking with the same deck. Going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, did Odyssey bring Razor back or not? That's the...
I feel like he's either bringing Razorback or Snipers, given that he almost lost to Chem Warriors there. I think that's the most likely thing to see.
Yeah, that would be a reasonable solution to that. Certainly make it a lot easier for him to win.
It's gonna be neither.
Okay.
Well, this is unexpected.
Yeah, it really is. So he's brought Talon to the Chem Warrior fight.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, open water is pretty good for Jade players, so it's not unreasonable to think Shadow Phoenix would just play the same thing.
Yeah.
Then again, I mean, open water works for so many different types of decks. I don't know if Odyssey was anticipating a variety of different decks that he was going to play, but yeah, this is going to be a really tough match for Odyssey. Fighting Chem Warriors with Talons is miserable.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see this deck from Odyssey. I'm also really like... This looks like a Solomon deck to me. I don't know why he's got Liang.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it is low cost enough that you could run a single Harv and play Solomon with a deck like that.
Yeah.
This is also similar to a deck that we played a lot of, which is where the only difference here we got Talon versus Drone Swarm and then Mohawk versus Orca. But yeah, this ain't looking too great overall. Those jump jets are going to lose a lot of value too. So yeah, I don't know.
There just isn't, there is no unit that really, like, Mohawk is the only thing he has that really benefits from a Liang drone. Like, Pitbull is okay with Liang. I'm not saying healing Pitbulls is bad. It's obviously great, but with no Predator tank, no APC, no Razorback Mohawk combo, like, I don't know, man. I'm not liking Liang that much on this deck. Even Jackson, I think, would be better.
So Odyssey pushed Shadow's Phoenix, or sorry, his Harvester off the pads there. Now we got Liang drone coming down, healing up the jump jets. Not gonna really do a lot there, but that's okay. He might be able to use it to hold it. Now he's got it far left, and actually this should hold the pads long enough for him to steal this missile. Swaps units around, great play there, and there it is. So Odyssey does take the first missile, but that really doesn't matter too much. The only real importance there is the fact that Shadow can't now just go over the base and kill it. But still, it's gonna be a tough fight from here.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, I mean, Odyssey won that missile with micro. Like, the Liang drone was completely irrelevant. It felt like I didn't even barely even healed anything. It kind of felt like he just spent 40 for no reason. Yeah.
Well, 50, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 50 now.
Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah, I mean, as long as he can, you know, push Shadow into these, continue to build all these cheap units, and he did a good job of shutting down his economy with that Harvester. Now finally Shadow is starting to harvest again, so that could be one way that Odyssey might be able to claw back, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, Odyssey is winning this game because he's playing better right now. That's what, like, his deck choice, I think, is not why he's winning per se. He's just outplaying Shadow Phoenix pretty hard at the moment.
So finally, Shadow builds his Chem Warriors, getting him onto that middle pad. Well, very important. He's going to make it there. But all that's going to happen here is Odyssey's going to get on the left pad with the jump jets, and these Chem Warriors really need to move over. He needs to get all 3 units onto the pads, but no, he doesn't make it in time. Odyssey steals the second game with another deck disadvantage. Well done to him.
I gotta say. All right, here we are, round 4, Lepaka versus Maximus.
All right. Wow, Maximus going with strong arm. I think he does play strong arm quite a bit on ladder, so maybe this is too unexpected. Lepaka, of course, playing Nod. We do expect that. But is he playing Inferno or Chembuggy Marauder? That's the question.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see his Chembuggy Marauder deck. Like, well, yeah, no, you're right. He does sometimes play Inferno. You're right. You're right. It could be anything.
No, I agree. Like most of the time he plays that the 4 War Factory deck with Chembuggy, but let's have a look.
Ooh,
so
3 War Factory.
Wow, what a change!
What a mentalist.
I think the difference is he's put militants instead of wheels.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the only change.
And for Maximus, of course, he's playing Wolverine. Let's see if Wolverine can actually do anything. What do you make of this matchup? I think it's going to be pretty tough for Maximus because he's got Wolverines, but...
Maximus is heavily a air-based deck, and Lepaka has bikes and stealth tank, but Lepaka doesn't have an air-to-air unit, which is the thing that Maximus is actually weakest to.
Yeah,
so I don't know, man. It could go either way. Maximus is a very good player as well. I'm interested to see. I wonder if Lepaka is playing the rifles because of the map, where he knows that obviously, like, if someone goes mass lasers at the start, it's really easy to pressure the harvester if you don't have an anti-infantry. Or
maybe
do you think he went militants because he knows Maximus always plays jump jets and therefore really wants a hard counter to jump jets?
Well, I mean, they're both good ladder players, so it's very possible that they do play against each other enough that he may have been expecting that. So yeah, that's very possible. But let's see. So Lepaka's actually having a bit of trouble here. That orc clearing the Chembuggy is a big problem. So far, he's not getting enough value, and there it is. Maximus takes the first missile pretty easily.
Yeah, Lepaka went for a swap of the rifles onto the bottom left. And lasers on the bottom right, but Maximus sent the jump jets to the bottom right and the talons to the bottom left, so it ended up being good for Maximus and bad for Lepaka. He needed to swap those 2 units around. That's basically what ended up costing him the missile mostly. And Maximus immediately gets a harvester kill as well, so Maximus in pretty good shape right now.
He is, yeah, these jump jets are getting really good value. Actually, jump jets are proving to be a pretty difficult unit for Lepaka to deal with. Even though he does have militants in his deck, these jump jets' mobility are causing issues because he just can't get at them. He got that harvester kill as well, so Maximus has got tons of money. This Wolverine's coming out as well. I don't know if the Wolverine's going to be super impactful, but, you know, maybe. He's actually got some pretty good targets for it. But let's have a look.
It is his beefiest unit. Like, you can see it actually can hold for a long time. But all it's actually done here is trade for a bike squad and spend some time standing on that pad. So yeah, pretty underwhelming from the Wolverine, which is what you expect from a Wolverine, to be fair.
Yeah, so Maximus is going to continue to fight with these air units. Of course, he's got talents to clear these Marauders, and that's going to be good enough. They can't shoot up, so it'll be okay. Zorka is going to try and clear these bikes. No, he's going to move it over. He needs to reload before getting at the stealth tank, though, and oh, phew, that was close. Nearly lost it there.
Yeah, Lepaka could have sniped it there. Surprised he didn't.
I was surprised, too, because it was moving, and he had an opening, but...
Oh, nice turret. Really nice turret.
Yes, that is a great turret placement, blocking the stealth thing from getting there, but he clears the Orcas, getting on that middle pad. He just needs to clear this Talon, almost moving it off. The 1 bullet won't be enough. The jump jet's going to come into play, and now the stealth thing clearing that Talon on the far left, and the jump jet's going to be able to clear it as well. Talon's going to go down to these lasers, and now Lepaka might be coming back. He clears the jump jets on the top pad. Boosted Chembuggy doing some real work, and here it is. He's coming back with the second missile, and now we're going to go to a third missile.
Yeah, a really nice turret from Maximus. Unfortunately, the unit compositions of both players' armies just heavily favored Lepaka there. The double stealth tank, and Maximus was all in on his air units. But yeah, the stealth tanks were able to just clear out everything in time.
Yeah, did a really great job, and now this is where things are going to get really interesting. I don't think either player is really going to benefit from the late game. I think both players have pretty even late game, but, you know, the thing is, there it is, another Wolverine coming out. I was going to say, Wolverines haven't really been doing a whole lot, but we'll see if that changes as we get into the later part of this game.
This Wolverine could be okay just to absorb shots. Like, if you absorb a stealth tank volley, that's huge for your Orca's survival rate, so that might be what he's thinking with this Wolverine. Oh, and Lepaka goes for a second laser. I don't like this at all. There's no way he's going to get through this Wolverine now. This could just be game.
Turret blocking, and yeah, that is game.
Wow. I think Lepaka hurt himself a lot by making that laser squad there. He spent his only pop cap that he had available on a laser squad that couldn't get through a Wolverine. Alright, here we go. Lepaka versus Maximus, game 2. Maximus is obviously 1-0 up right now with some excellent play. What am I trying to say here? Yes, still best of 3, so this is a match point for Maximus. If he wins this, Lepaka does go to the losers bracket.
Yep. Which I got to say would be surprising because Lapaka's a very good player. Even if it appears that we're going to see the same decks, but we'll have a look. Even if that is the case, you know, Lapaka's good enough that he could claw his way back.
In a best of 3, I think two good players like this, it's not that insane for one of them to simply 2-0 the other, right? Like if it was a best of 7, I'd be very surprised to see Lapaka go down 0-4. But 0-2 can happen. That's, you know, that can happen. So yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised to see it happen. He has switched to Infernos here, and Maximus has swapped his Wolverine into a Sandstorm, which normally I'd say is a great choice for Maximus, because A, Sandstorm's way better than Wolverine, and B, it beats up on Infernos. But since the nerf, I don't know if that's true anymore.
Well, the big difference is that, so drop down to 3,600 health, which means, because Inferno does 2,000 per bomb, that means Inferno only needs to get 2 shots off. But really, if it gets 1 shot off, the flame damage plus the missile should be enough for something else to clean it up.
Yeah, that's going to be what the difference is. I think that in Sandstorm, because of the fire damage, like you're saying, Sandstorm effectively died to 2 Inferno bombs anyway.
Yeah.
Before the nerf, and now it still dies to 2. The difference is going to be, will it die to 1 bomb plus something else? That'll be what matters.
So he's not on these pads. Will the Fanatics get on there? And it does. The turret's going to shoot through them, though. And these jump jets on the far right are going to be able to hold the pads against these bikes. Talon finally moves on, and now the turret actually doing a pretty good job of holding things down, and it's going to give him the missile. There it is. Maximus takes the first one thanks to that great turret placement.
Yeah, also, Lapaka heavily overcommitted on bikes there. I think he was expecting Maximus to go Talon a lot sooner than he did. But he had bikes ready to go, and Maximus just didn't make any aims. He just continued to make infantry, which meant that Lapaka was left with like 2 bike squadrons versus 2 jump jets, and that was horrible. That's why he lost that missile.
Unit lost. Oh man, you know, and it was kind of unfortunate too, because like you said, the bike commitment really just cost him so much. But you know, we're going into a second missile, so it's not the end of the game. But I mean, Maximus got that harvester kill, which is going to be good for him, because that means he will be able to get his sandstorms online, which really, I think the biggest role for them is going to be just to hold pads. And hopefully, with the shutting down of the economy for Lapaka, that means the Infernos aren't going to get online. So this is actually not looking good for Lapaka at all.
Yeah, it's looking very good for Maximus. He's pretty close to a sandstorm now. Lapaka's pretty broke. So yeah, it's definitely looking really good for Maximus at the moment.
So he secured that bottom section again with a nice turret placement. The bikes are coming in, but they're not going to be enough. He's got Maximus got all 3 pads. Orc's going to hold steady, and there it is. Lapaka just could not get onto the pads. Losing that economy and during the second missile was the biggest problem for him there. And yeah, that gave Maximus the win.
Yeah, I gotta say, Maximus just kept him off kill to the whole game. He got ahead and stayed ahead, and yeah, just absolutely dominated him, honestly. All right, here we go, round 5. SRPSS taking on Maximus. We're on Peaks and Valley for the first game. This is round 5 of the winners bracket. We're still in best of 3, but obviously anyone who loses here still has a chance to make the finals. And we've got Liang versus Steph. Do you think we're going to see some Titan here, Jeffrey?
I sure hope so. Titan is currently the best unit in the game, and he's got Liang to support it. So yeah, and Titan, you know, SRPS is
known for being unstoppable.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, but Maximus changing over to Seth is always interesting. It looks like he's going to play. Wow, no bikes. That's interesting. But yep, there it is, the Titan. Okay, so I think this is probably game over already. But we'll just watch the game and see how it goes. But yeah, Maximus getting onto that pad early is great for him. He's going to get defender's advantage, which means he should win this militant war. SRPS pushed his other rifleman back. Actually, it was pretty good micro from him. Interesting little play there, but he is eventually going to lose this as he's losing the value game. But yeah, I don't know. But like between these 2 decks, you know, I don't know. Having no bikes to deal with the Razorback, he's got tanks which have 0 targets except for the Titans. I don't know. I actually think SRPS has overall brought a better deck, but what do you make of this?
Yeah, the tanks are not going to be very useful, like you said. The lack of bikes, I think, is okay, because like bikes are not very good against Razorbacks and Mohawks anyway. Although it does hurt him a lot when it comes to Hammerhead versus Phantom. Being able to support your Phantom with bikes is a huge deal, because a Phantom will put a Hammerhead to almost dead, and a bike will finish it off. With no bikes, he's going to have to rely on just Phantoms to fight Hammerheads, which is fine, but not great.
Let's just take a minute to appreciate this savage pop capping going on. It looks like he's not going to be able to win this miss. No units on any of the 3 pads. Legendor goes down to that Phantom very quickly, though, which is nice to see. These Flame Troopers coming on the far right, they're going to be a big issue. This Phantom's not be able to clear the Razorback, and now he's going to push over with those missiles on the far left. Will he make it in time? Oh, no! Phantom clears the Razorback, but actually the Venom goes down on that middle pad. He's not going to be able to push over, though, and there it is. Maximus takes the first missile.
And you'd love to see that. There's nothing in Rivals is better than seeing someone pop capping first missile then losing it. That is truly the greatest thing that can possibly happen in a game of Rivals. So love to see that. And as you can see, look at the health on this Hammerhead. If he had a bike squadron, he could send a bike to finish it off. Instead, he has to try and run it down with lasers, which is basically impossible. He managed to get 1 hit in. He'd need another one to finish it off. So he has to use just Phantoms. And using just Phantoms to fight Hammerheads is really inefficient. Because you have to be constantly microing them around.
Well, exactly. And actually, his replacement for bikes is Banshee. And Banshee is just borderline insane. I mean, Banshee alongside Phantom? I think you choose one or the other, but...
It is surprising.
I don't hate it, though. Built it yet.
I don't hate it. I do hate that he hasn't built it yet. I feel like it would have been a great choice to help. Because it helps against the Hammerheads. Like, two Banshees will beat a Hammerhead. And it's good against the Razorback. But yeah, the Razorback plus missile combo is starting to take over the game now.
That's what we're seeing. So this Phantom at real low health, it's going to be a bit of a liability, but gets another volley off onto that Razorback, not bringing it through to do all the damage it needs to. This Phantom's going to go down to these missiles on the far left. That's unfortunate. They're going to hold steady, but will SRPS claw back? This 1 HP Razorback being the MVP, and there it is. Just sneaks that missile back, and now Titan's coming out. This could be a problem.
Yeah, Maximus is in a lot of trouble now. Potentially, maybe he brought the Banshee because he knew that SRPSS was going to bring Titan. And he wanted something that shoots down. Although I feel like if you're going to do that, laser drones would have been a better option to go alongside your Phantom. But yeah, I don't know.
That's true.
I think the Banshee is... I don't hate it, but yeah, it's not great. And his real issue here is he doesn't have something that kills the lasers quickly enough. Like, he has the Venoms, but they haven't been doing a good job.
So this unstoppable Titan's been wreaking havoc on the far left of the map there. You see he took down the Harvester. Now Maximus is low on money. He's got 80 Tiberium, but he's not rebuilding that Harvester. And this is where things are going to really start to shift. SRPS has a lot of expensive units in his deck. He's got a way better economy advantage now. And now that Titan's out with that Liang drone, this is not looking like Maximus is going to come back.
Yeah, and this is kind of what the Titan does. It's not really that it's a good combat unit. It's that it two-shots your Harvester, and then it's indestructible. Like, you run out of money because it kills your Harvester, and then it just sits on a pad forever, and you can't kill it because it's indestructible with Liang. It doesn't, like, if you looked at the Titan, what did it do in this game? It killed 1 Harvester, I think 2 missile troopers, not squads, 2 single troopers, and a couple of riflemen, and that's it.
Yeah.
But by just being indestructible and killing the Harvesters, it cripples the economy, and that's kind of what its job is.
All right. Well, we got game number 2.
Control.
All right, here we go. Game number 2, SRPSS versus Maximus. SRPSS is 1-0 up with his Mighty Titan, which is unstoppable.
Yep. So the question is, what did Maximus bring for Tech Splash? Because you got to assume that's probably what he's going to play here. And maybe, I think SRPS is going to change Titan for something else. That's my prediction, but we'll see.
I think he's not going to change Titan. I think SRPSS will play exactly the same deck. We might see something
You think so?
slightly different from Maximus.
New objective.
Nope, he's playing the same deck as before. I think this is a terrible choice. I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude or anything, but why would you bring Sandstorm when you know your opponent is bringing the Titan? Like, you've just brought a tech unit that's hard countered by your opponent's tech unit. Doesn't make any sense to me.
He does have the jump jets.
It's like bringing jump jets when you... it's like bringing zone troopers when you expect your opponent to be bringing a mammoth tank. It's like, you just...
Right.
Your unit is useless if their unit comes out, so... Yeah, huge not a fan of this.
Well, SRPS did make one change. He's got Pitbull in his deck. I don't think he had Pitbull last time.
No, he had Mohawk last time. He swapped it for Pitbull.
Which is good, because the Mohawk really didn't have any role. So, but let's see. Will Maximus get this Harvester kill? It's actually very close. Shot. Should get it. No, actually, the Liang drone is just healing it quick enough.
Oh, wow, and the blocks.
That was beautiful micro there from SRPS, denying Maximus from getting it. So actually now Maximus is not going to be able to get it, and SRPS is going to continue to harvest. He went double harvester first, so he's really going with the Titan game plan. We'll see if that works out for him.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we got Maximus double talent on the field, of course, going to be denied by these Pitbulls, or sorry, the single Pitbull. Jump Jet coming out again, and that Harvester got almost fully healed. The Liang drone did a pretty good job.
Liang is outrageous.
And Maximus continuing to spam these jump jets. Not really going to be effective now that we got this Razorback online. And Maximus, actually, this isn't really good for him. The missile's been stalling for quite a while. We're at almost a minute and a half, and this means SRP is going to get his Titan on sooner. And yeah, like you said at the beginning, the Titan's going to be much better to deal with these sandstorms than the other way around. So, well, unfortunate for Maximus, SRP is now going to come back, and here it is, taking the first missile as well.
Yeah, Maximus committed pretty heavily on trying to get that Harvester kill. Couldn't afford units after that pretty much, and basically just got run down by a Pitbull plus a Razorback, killing everything that he made. So now that he's lost first missile and his opponent's double Harvester, it's looking real bad for Maximus.
Very bad, yeah. And we're at 2 minutes now, so economy's just ramped up a little bit more. Titans are online. Here it is. It's going to do the same thing as it did last time. It's going to prove to be difficult to remove them from the field. Of course, this time Maximus does have access to Orca and jump jets, but Liang drone coming down as well. Double volley from that Orca, nearly clearing the Titan, but it's not going to be quite enough. And in fact, the reload time on the Orca should be slow enough for the Titan to gain enough health from Liang drone that it should survive quite a while. So, but now that the Hammerheads are coming out, we got the economy ramped up. Yeah, this is not looking good at all.
And this is actually what's broken in the game, not the Titan, it's the Liang drone. Because that Titan would have gone down to the third Orca volley, but now it's full hit points again, which is just insane. So yeah, Liang is absolutely gross.
Yep.
All right, SRPSS does dominate that game. Congratulations to him. All right, guys, here we are. Mad Mike versus Odyssey. We're taking a little gander into the losers bracket here. So this is losers bracket round 5, Odyssey versus Mad Mike. SRPSS is currently qualified for the semis. We've got Greeno playing against Sant for the other player who will be in the winners bracket semis. So we're going to feature a little bit of losers bracket here. So let's see, Odyssey versus Mad Mike. Obviously, as losers bracket, this one is an elimination match. Whoever loses this one is out of the tournament. So some high stakes here.
So we've got double strong arm, and here we got Mad Mike playing a variation Suzaku's APC deck, running Talon versus Drone Storm and Mohawk versus Orca. But then on the other side, Odyssey playing, and also an interesting deck. Overall, I know this matchup pretty well. Mad Mike's got the better deck here. APC is a really hard unit for Odyssey to deal with. Just because jump jets and Talon are really what you need, because the APC, once it's taken down by the jump jets, the missiles are going to come out and you need something to deal with that. Actually, sorry, not Talon, but the rifleman. And Mad Mike shouldn't have too much difficulty dealing with that. So I really feel like Mad Mike's got the edge here. But what do you make of this matchup, Blade?
Yeah, this is the same deck Odyssey played on Open Water last time we saw him on feature. But he's changed to strong arm instead of Liang, which I think is a good choice. It's a really good strong arm map. Both players are playing strong arm though, and this is not a map where both players want their turret in the same place. They're going to want their turrets in opposite places on the map, like this,
just
like you
this.
see right this. Yeah, exactly like this. The turret is very good.
It is, and actually, it looks like, yeah, Mad Mike, or sorry, Odyssey coming out just slightly ahead there. He got to start down a little bit earlier, but that didn't really have too much of an impact. In fact, that Odyssey really got into the Talon game a little bit sooner, shutting down Mad Mike's air, and yeah, did a pretty good job. But look at that pop capping up at the top left there. Finally, that militant goes down.
There was quite a lot of one-man militant squads roaming around during that missile. And yeah, I think Odyssey's deck is favored on the first missile. I would expect him to win that one. I agree with you that once Mad Mike starts getting the APCs out, that's when he's going to take over this game. Like, that's his ace in the hole here, is the APCs.
Yeah, and there it is. So first APC online is going to move out. It looks like he's just going to move it. I'm not really sure where he's trying to put it. He's going to deal with these jump jets first, and then maybe move to that bottom pad to deal with the Talon. Odyssey does have access to Mohawks, but again, the Mohawk doesn't do a lot of damage very quickly. There's about 400 per shot, and APC having over 3,000 health will tank against it quite well. It does have anti-air damage, so maybe with this turret to support, will it win against it? It's looking like it's going to be pretty close. But actually, these missiles will come and clean it up. Missile's going to be a pretty good option here against both Mohawk and the Talon. And with the Talon to support, Mad Mike's going to start to shut things down, as we're seeing this APC still alive. We'll finally go down to this jump jet, but it doesn't matter. These missiles are going to tank for just a little bit longer. And now, will he secure this top pad? That is the question. Turret on the bottom left is not going to be effective, as it's only going to deal with the Talon. And, oh, he doesn't get on that top pad. Ball goes down to those missiles, and Odyssey loses that missile, giving Mad Mike way back into this game.
Yeah, and that missile was exactly what we were talking about. The map control the APC gave him, the unit on the bottom pad that Mad Mike won the missile with was the missiles from the APC. Like, he just, that unit of the APC plus missiles just held for sort of, 40 seconds, 50 seconds or something, the two units combined.
Yep.
And that's effectively a one in the missile. Odyssey just needs so long to remove an APC plus the missiles. But once
Yep,
Mad Mike
exactly.
can spam them, and we're getting to that stage where he's going to start being able to make a lot of APCs, it's going to be really hard for Odyssey to clear them in time.
Yeah, like just take a look at the Tiberium gain on the bottom left there. You see Mad Mike just gaining 10 Tiberium roughly every second and a half. And that means he's going to be able to start spamming these APCs. And so that might be the way he wins. But he's only got that one APC. It's not going to make it to the pads in time. He's got to navigate around that pad. Will he hold this? Mohawk's going to move on to the pad. It will destroy this Pitbull, but it's going to be close. Can he do it? Oh, the Talon's going to get onto the pad. APC finally makes it there. The missile stalling just long enough means the APC had time. But it doesn't matter. He's not on that top pad. And in fact, there it is. Oh, wait a minute. No, turret finally goes down. Talon gets there. And all right, there it is.
Mad Mike does not quite get on that top pad in time. It was so close.
Yeah,
Really
the
close.
Talons just could not make it, and yeah, Odyssey just managed to claw forward once again, showing that deck differences aren't enough to decide a game. Odyssey doing a really great job here.
All right, here we are, Mad Mike versus Odyssey. This is an elimination game for Mad Mike. He needs to win this to remain in the tournament. Odyssey is 1-0 up. We're in the losers bracket. So yeah, this is everything to play for Mad Mike. If he wants that dollar, he's got to pull something out here.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and we're seeing another strong Armir 2 times in the same tournament. I've never seen that happen. You'll love to see it, though. Love the deck diversity.
3, 2, 1. New objective received.
All right, so then decks are identical. So that neither player really deciding to be creative. They've decided to just go for exactly the same thing. And, you know, actually, again, surprising because Odyssey could have made a couple of changes here to make his deck better and make it easier for him to win this game against Mad Mike. But, well, that's all right. He's familiar with the deck and he's going to continue to play it.
I think, like, Odyssey's won twice with this deck, right? Like, he's played it twice, he's won twice. He's probably pretty happy. He's probably like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I feel comfortable with this deck. If I have a small deck disadvantage, I think I can overcome it by playing better, which is what he's done so far. Mad Mike probably still happy because he has the deck advantage. Although, I do think this map is weaker for that plan than the previous one. On the previous map, he just needed to get an APC on both pads, which he was never able to do.
That's right.
On this map, that's not going to be as efficient a strategy because there's 3 maps and one of them is really far away from your base, so it's really hard to get an APC there. So yeah, I think Mad Mike's deck slightly worse than it was last time. I think Orca would have been a lot better than Mohawk here as well.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, so Mohawk's coming forward. Of course, Mad Mike having 2 out of 3 of these pads. Nice blocking on that bottom
Really nice
pad,
blocking,
denying
yeah.
the Pitbull. But the Talon finally gets there. He's going to kill this Rifleman and flip the missile over. And I think that means that Odyssey's going to come back. Actually, no. So finally, turret comes down. It's going to support and take down this Talon. Double Talon will deal with this Mohawk. And actually, he should throw that Talon over the far right pad. But it looks like Mohawk's going to get there first. Unfortunate, but Mohawk will go down to this Talon with Pitbull support. And now Odyssey, having all 3 pads, will take this missile.
Yeah, really nice
And
play
there it
from
is.
Mad Mike there, actually. Like, you got to give him props. He didn't quite manage to... He almost had it with that blocking on the bottom right, but Odyssey snuck a Talon in just in time. And Mad Mike didn't have the money to go Pitbulls, which is what he needed to do, because Odyssey had triple Talon out, and Mad Mike had, you know, like, you can't drive your Talons into their Talons because you'll lose. And then his Mohawk obviously did nothing, so he needed to be able to go Pitbull. And that's one of the issues with this APC deck, is it needs all 3 buildings to be a functioning deck. Whereas Odyssey was clearly able to function on 2 buildings. He didn't need the Pitbull.
Now, of course, one advantage here is the fact that the game's gone on for quite a while. The longer the game stalls, the better for Mad Mike. So we're at just 2 minutes, and we're not even halfway through the second minute. So that's great. He might have enough time to get these APCs online, as we see the first one coming out here. Does manage to get onto that middle pad. That's something that Odyssey needs to be careful of, because if he starts to get these APCs out in numbers, that could be a problem for Odyssey. Of course, having said that, though, this is Rivals, and, you know, anything can happen. So let's have a look here. So this Harvester low health is a little bit of a low-hanging fruit. This Pitbull might just move over, but it's going to go down to this Mohawk. Pitbull won't be able to get a shot off on the Harvester, not taking it down, and that would be good for him because the economy could be an issue. But either way, Odyssey doing a really good job of clawing back here. Double Pitbull on the bottom left will clear the Mohawk. Nobody can build a turret just yet. Maybe he's going to deny something here. We'll see. But this Pitbull on this middle pad being an MVP, but no, Talons get on there. Won't be quite enough, though. Will these missiles get there? Turret coming down as well. Good placement to deal with both of these Talons. Might be enough to defend that top pad. But these 2 Pitbulls are going to clear each other on that bottom right, and there they are. Now Odyssey just needs to throw these Talons onto these pads, and he should be able to have the game locked down.
Yeah, and Odyssey, that was just an economic win from Odyssey. He was so far ahead in money. Mad Mike, like, Odyssey was able to place 2 turrets during that missile to Mad Mike's 0, because he had way more money, and Mad Mike never managed to get the APCs rolling either. So yeah, Odyssey with a very clean win there.
Yep.
All right, here we go with the Packer versus Victor. This is also losers round 5. So once again, the loser here will be eliminated from the tournament.
Yep.
So serious business, guys. Game face is on.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like they're both going to be bringing their A game because we see Oksana from both of these players, and both of them are known for running Oksana-centric decks. So let's take a look and see what they've decided to bring.
And we'll see Inferno from possibly both. Yep, there it is.
Yep. Look at that. Yeah, exactly. And the only real difference here, we got Fanatics with wheels instead of the militants. And then, of course, we've got, what else? We got Venom on Victor's side. So, you know, I don't think there's really enough of a difference between the decks to say that one's got a clear advantage over the other. It's really just going to come down to Phantom and Inferno.
I actually think that Lepaka's deck is better because Fanatics are so good.
That is true. I agree with you. Yeah, Fanatics are quite good. They have pretty much the same DPS as Flames, and for a lot less cost. So maybe you could be right about that.
I think the boost is going to be like super relevant. I think that Lepaka can set up situations where he suicides Fanatics into his own Inferno fire to reload his Infernos and Phantoms quicker. And that's what this game is going to come down to. It's going to come down to the Phantom Mirror. So,
well, let's have a look. So we got those Fanatics on that top pad. We've got lasers doing a ring around the road on the top left, and not going to make it pad in time. Venom coming out from Victor will get over to that top pad, and actually the single bike's going to be a bit of a liability. This one bike with the Fanatics should be enough, and then he could push forward and block those lasers from getting onto the pad, but Victor's not really pushing here. We got a Venom coming down onto that bottom pad as well. Lasers make it, but Venom on the top pad goes down, and that gives Lepaka the first missile. Man, that was a little surprising gameplay from Victor there.
Yeah, the Venom's not quite able to move around as quickly as the Fanatic and Bike combo. Bikes only need to engage a Venom for, you know, half a second to half kill it, whereas Venoms need to engage Fanatics for, you know, solidly for like 5 seconds or whatever to finish off the squad, and that's a huge difference.
So we're starting to see these boosts make a little bit of a material difference as we see the first bike squad getting that boost, clearing these Venoms very quickly. Now Lepaka throwing bikes at the top, of course, they're going to go down to those lasers, so he's not going to be able to get much value out of it. A little bit of a waste of Tiberium there, but it's not their only attack bikes, so not that big of a deal. Phantom's online, but it moves up to the top pad where there's no air units, so he needs to move it down, and he's finally getting it there. These double Fanatics are going to be really great against all this infantry on the field as well. And actually, so far, Lepaka's got a pretty good advantage here, and like you talked about, Blade, actually the Fanatics is getting boost off on these important units like Phantom are starting to make a bit of a difference as we see the Phantom being a bit of a game changer. But Victor clears that Phantom. However, he needs to get on that top pad in time. The slowdown Phantom nearly doesn't make, but finally does. Lasers get onto that bottom pad, but now we see double Inferno coming out. And will he get onto this pad here? He does clear the lasers. Phantom's on, or sorry, the Inferno's on that bottom pad are just going to sit and touch tips there, and they're not going to be doing too much. But the Phantom on the top needs to get on the top pad. Will make it there in time, and it's so close. This Phantom with 1 HP who's going to go down to these bikes, but the Venom, it will clear that single bike, but it doesn't matter. It's going to hold long enough for this Phantom to clear that, and bikes boosted are going to move on to the pad. He needs to clear that top bike, though, and so far, this is exactly the characterization of these two players being so good against each other, neither player being able to really come forward, and it's being a real fight here, but finally, Lepaka is starting to claw forward, but no, wait a minute, the flip, and the boosted lasers do not make it in time.
Even with the boost, he doesn't get there in time to kill that bike. Oh, that was crazy. That was an insane, that was an intense missile.
That single bike was the MVP there, for sure. Oh man, crazy.
I'm pretty sure that's the same single bike that he could have killed earlier, and instead he was focusing on a different squad. So yeah, that single bike lived forever, pretty much.
That was a nice micro there from Victor. He moved his bikes out of the way as the Inferno nearly got a double shot, but couldn't quite make it there. And, you know, at this point in the game, it's really come down to value. Whoever extracts more value out of their units is to come out ahead. And, you know, this is where the Fanatics might really start to make a difference, because the Fanatics could shift the value game over to Lepaka's advantage. And now we're about to get into this third missile. It's getting very close. Here it is. Who is going to lose this game? Bikes get onto that bottom pad. Harvester's moving on. It doesn't get blocked by the bikes, but it doesn't matter. The lasers will make it. Oh, it doesn't. A little bit of a misplay there as he microed it onto the top hex, and of course because of that they didn't change the pad over to yellow soon enough, and Victor managed to claw in with just an inch, and he makes it, winning.
Okay, game 2, Lepaka versus Victor. Victor 1-0 up. This is an elimination match, so if Victor wins this, Lepaka's hopes and dreams are crushed. And Victor has switched to GDI here. Liang, what do you make of that?
Well, I'm expecting Orca Bomber, but I don't know. I actually don't know. On a map like Bullseye, I don't think you'd expect to see double Harv. So maybe Tech Splash, but I'd be surprised. I think this is going to be Orca Bomber. That would be my guess.
Victor does love his bombers, so... I wouldn't be surprised to see Orca Bomber.
2, 1. New objective.
No, it's the
No.
SRPSS Titan
Ah.
deck.
Interesting. Okay, and you know what?
Line.
Titan is actually going to be pretty decent. The Mutant Marauders, well, it's kind of hard to say. So the Razorback should be able to deal with the Mutant Marauders, but is it going to be in time enough for them to get shut down before the Titan goes down? That's going to be the question. I think Victor's got more tools in his deck, especially with Liang. So I feel like Victor's got the better deck. But what do you think of this, Blade?
I think that the problem for Lepaka is he can kill the Titan easily with mutants, but he needs to protect the mutants from Razorback. And the only way
Yeah.
to do that is Stealth Tank, which gets one shot by Titan. So I think it's going to be really difficult for Lepaka to remove the Razorbacks,
Building
and therefore the Titans are going to be unstoppable.
ready.
That's my prediction.
Right.
But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
If the Titan gets split up from the Razorback, like if this wasn't such a concentrated map, then I would say that Lepaka was heavily favored. But since the Titan can hang out with a Razorback in the middle for the whole game, that's going to be a huge deal.
A little unfortunate here for Victor, as he didn't really contest the pads very well. Lepaka had units in position and really made it easy for him to block that Pitbull from getting there, as the attack bikes actually were delayed by about a second or two, and there was time for the Pitbull to push on, but Victor just didn't go for it, so he lost
Yeah.
the missile.
I'm really surprised to see Victor go for the Pitbull here. Kind of feels like he needed Razorback a lot sooner to win that missile.
Yeah.
And he actually loses a Harvester as well to these boosted Marauders.
Yeah, this is very good for Lepaka. What he's doing here, he's pressuring his economy, and if he can do that, stop Titans from getting out, well, who cares if they're unstoppable? They're never going to make it to the pads.
Yep.
And that might be just the way that Lepaka comes out of this. But here we are. We see these missiles and double Pitbull from Victor, a lot of anti-vehicle, and the Stealth Tank is going to start to gain some value at clearing one of the Pitbulls at first. And now this Kemba going to move through the middle, clearing these missiles as well. And this is where things are going to become pretty problematic for Victor. He needs to get his Titan out, but he just built his tech lab, and he's still quite a ways away from it. So I'm not so sure he's going to make it in time.
Oof, you need to, like, if he stopped losing his Razorbacks, it would be okay, but yeah, he's lost both Razorbacks almost instantly to the Stealth Tanks, and now I think he's too far behind.
So Leandro comes into the bottom right just to stall the missile a little bit longer, and by time this Kemba is going to hold steady against this Pitbull. He's going to move these lasers in and get rid of that drone. And now he's getting two pads completely covered. This Pitbull and this Hammer are going to try and make it on. Oh, finally, lasers do get, or missiles get on there. Hammer's going to move over to that bottom right. And actually, no, he's sitting in here in the middle, but it's not going to be enough. Doesn't really matter too much. Lepaka having two of these pads means that he should have it, and there it is. Yeah, Razorback just couldn't make it in time.
Yeah, just fires the missile before the Razorback gets there. The Victor playing
Wow,
Seth,
okay.
which I think is a great choice on Orbit.
Yep.
It's very
Yep.
unusual to see Victor playing Seth, which means he's definitely mixed up his deck. Lepaka still playing Oksana. He's probably on the Chuggy deck again. This is
Yeah,
a
I
pretty
think
good
so.
map for it. Not amazing though. Again, you want Mutants and Chuggy to be in the same location.
Yeah, right, that's true.
So we'll have to wait and see. Wow.
Okay.
Victor
Well, so
has,
Fnatic
Victor has
aggro.
really mixed up his deck. He's playing Fnatic aggro with Banshee. Very unusual to see this from Victor.
Yeah, and actually good choice instead of bringing Phantom, because Phantom would have had no targets, even though he could have anticipated Inferno. Mutant Marauder with Kembuggy makes more sense. So good call by Victor here to put in Banshee. And yeah, Fnatic aggro, pretty good choice overall.
Yeah.
The extra movement speed should help him get to the pads quite easily. And then, like you say, the thing with Lepaka is he's going to be he might have to split up his combination in order to contest the 3 pads. So that's going to be the interesting point in this match, I think.
Yeah, I think Victor's picked a fantastic deck for this map. I think this is probably the best, close to the best deck you can possibly play on Orbit. And yeah, Victor, like you say, Lepaka has to split up his units because this pad's being so split apart. And it's easy to kill a Chuggy that doesn't have Mutant Marauder protection, and it's easy to kill mutants that don't have Chuggy protection. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this one goes.
So Lepaka with that single bike on the top pad taking it, and now these Fanatics left install it. These this tank though, some value. Boosted Marauders aren't even enough to clear that tank just yet. Nice Marco here from Victor as he's moving that tank through his Fanatics, but now the bike's going to clear that top bike. A bit of a liability here for Lepaka. Now that means Victor should comfortably take this missile. Yeah, there it is. So Victor, of course, having the early game aggression made it pretty simple for him to take that missile, and this is not looking great for Lepaka, but well, this is Rivals, so we'll see.
Yeah, this is kind of what we're seeing now is kind of what I expected on this map. Like, Lepaka just is unable to get his Chuggy and mutants rolling at the same time, which is how he wins games. But he's lost
Yep.
2 mutant squads without even killing a tank. His first Chuggy is out now. It's killed a couple of infantry squads, but he's about to lose it to a Scorpion. Yeah, there it goes. And it's so hard for Lepaka to get out of this stranglehold. Wow, he just surrenders. That's it.
Oh,
Crazy.
very dominant game.
Absolutely dominant. And I think Victor's deck choice was fantastic for that map. And
Yep.
yeah, he absolutely crushes it. All right, here we go. Beast versus Omleet in the losers bracket. So loser of this is eliminated.
Oh, he heard you, Blade. He's playing Kane.
So happy. So happy to see Kane. It's not a great Kane map, so I don't know, man.
Well, and Beast has also brought Jade, and Jade's a really good choice. But, well, you know, Omlead, he does some surprising things, so I'm interested. We'll see how this plays out.
All right, and Flame Tank from
Oh,
Omleet.
man, love it. Oh, but actually, Flame Tank's not going to be bad.
Yeah, Flame Tank is actually pretty good because his opponent is on a Chem deck, and Flames are fantastic against Chem decks. Because you can
But
actually
look
get
at the
value
rest
out
of
of
this
them.
deck. He's got Stealth Tank in one War Factory unit in Stealth Tank, and then he's running Laser Drone and Venom. It's, you know, actually the deck maybe looks heinous, but it's really not that bad. I think the problem though is really just, you know, having to build one building for Stealth Tank. I think that's the one
Yeah.
drawback, but the rest of it actually, I think overall it's not a bad deck.
Yeah, it's interesting
and
to
then,
see
of
that he's
course-
on Stealth Tank instead of instead of Phantom.
Yeah, I think so, right? But then, of course, we've got Beast here running. It looks like a variation on CKM's Jade deck, where he's not really relying on air. He's not using Phantom. He's using Stealth Tank instead. And then, of course, he's got Laser Drones. But I wonder if he maybe should have put Venom in here instead. I don't know if the Laser Drones are going to be really, really good. But
Yeah,
either way,
it's gonna be interesting to see how this one goes.
yeah.
I really don't feel like I think Omleet has the advantage, but it's like pretty close in deck composition.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you're right.
it could be anyone.
Okay, so just like we predict on a two-pad map like Tide Pools, the missile's going to stall. Of course, there's not really a lot of contesting going on. We've got basically just, you know, a standard rivals game here, not a lot going on. But finally, Omni's going to start pressuring these militants with these with the Venom, and these double bikes are going to be a bit of an issue, so he has to back off. These Chem Warriors finally coming online means he should start chewing through these Fanatics, and this is one area that he may have trouble with these Chem Warriors clearing the Fanatics very efficiently. But we got another Stealth Tank coming out, or sorry, the first Stealth Tank coming out here. It's going to go after the Harvester, but nice Kane Tower coming down. Of course, we've got a bunch of squads on the field, so the Kane Tower is not going to be as impactful. Does clear that Stealth Tank, though, which is really, really great value so far. And now he's chewing through these Chem Warriors as well. But, you know, we're almost 2 minutes into this first missile, and no player's taking it out first, so it's going to be a while before we see this game end.
Yeah, and that's heavily favored towards Omleet, I think, because once he gets Flame Tanks rolling, like Beast has laser drones, but Flame Tank is pretty beefy. It's kind of hard to take out a Flame Tank. And once you get to the late game, 90 cost is a cheap unit. That's less than a lot of bombers. Like bombers are 100, right? So
Yeah,
you can really
exactly.
spam Flame Tanks in the late game, and they're going to be hard for Beast to kill.
So here we see Omlead making a contest for the pads. He's got the Legion on that far. Camera. Finally, the bikes move on, but they're moving up. And actually, will he get on there in time? Oh, he does. It's very, very close. These Legions are going to move up, though, and they can't actually because the bikes are in defending position. But another Kane Tower coming down, and now he's finally secured that bottom right, but he needs to move up, and he finally is. Venom at low health, though, will go down to another bike volley, and he's going to have to find something else to get onto that path. So right now, again, it's just going to continue to stall. But wait a minute. Oh, the laser drones get destroyed by those bikes. Chem Warriors finally make it on, and actually, I wonder if that Chem Warrior is going to hold on long enough. It's looking so far like that might be the case, but no, finally these laser drones in numbers are going to win this missile, and there it is. Omlead finally taking the first missile after 3 minutes, and well, we'll see when this game's going to end.
Yeah, and the Obelisk there actually was critical for Omleet because he had 2 lasers against a Chem Warrior, and the Obelisk killed the Chem Warriors before the Chem Warrior killed the lasers, so yeah, that Kane Tower won him that missile, really. And now we see double Flame Tank, and he's going for the base with it. Beast's in a lot of trouble here. Killing a Flame Tank is not easy.
No, and he doesn't really have much money to build anything to counter it, so the Stealth Tank comes out. It's going to clear, get some volley off on the Flame Tank, but like you said, it's pretty beefy. And now Catalyst Missile is going to miss completely. What a waste of Tiberium. Now double Flame Tank on the base, actually only one, but it's going to be enough, and there it is.
Boom.
Boom indeed. Oh man, Omlead.
Establishing battlefield control.
All right, here we go. Beast versus Omleet. This is, of course, an elimination match. Omleet 1-0. If he wins this, then Beast is out.
Before the game loads, I gotta say, I think I'm expecting Disruptor from Omlead. I just have a
Oh,
a
yeah,
feeling.
man. I hope so. That would be sweet.
I feel like if he's gonna play something serious, though, we'd see Titan. I don't know why. I just, for some reason, Disruptor or Titan would be the two that I expect to see.
3, 2,
Might see both. Can you imagine?
new objective.
Oh, Juggernaut!
What is it? Oh my goodness.
All
Okay,
right.
well,
Well, that's surprising.
very surprising. And you know, the thing with Juggernaut on open water, it's not horrible. Juggernaut itself is really bad. This might be one of the better maps for it, but
Yeah, this is probably the best map for it in the game.
Online.
yeah. So
So
not a
maybe-
horrible idea.
Maybe it won't be horrendous. I mean, honestly, against Beast's deck, it will be okay. As long as he can keep Orcas away from it, it'll kill APCs and missiles over time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's exactly what needs to happen, right? He needs to get the Juggernaut in position. Then he needs to defend it with Hammerhead, and that is actually how he might win this. You know, and because of the slowness of the APC deck and the fact that it's not going to be able to respond very quickly, it's quite possible this might win in the game.
Yeah, and we see Omni pop capping as well. Beast is on 3 one-man rifle squads.
Oh, that's savage.
Unit lost.
Yeah, well, he's now clearing them, of course. But yeah, there was some pretty savage pop capping going. 3 squads for pop cap. This Pitbull, of course, is going to do a really great job against these Drone Storm, and now Beast has built 2 Pitbulls. Might be an overcommitment, but here we are moving into the first missile, and right now it's actually looking like Beast has got a slight edge, but these missiles are going to hold steady. Mohawk coming out as well, and he's built these riflemen to deal with these missiles, but will he clear this Pitbull in time? The Pitbull's firing off on the Militant. A little
Yeah.
bit of sorry, on
Beast
the rifleman there. A
Pitbull
little
shot
bit of misplay.
rifles the whole time.
Oh, a little bit of my mismicro there, and now Omli's going to start to claw back. Of course, he is running a tech deck with a single harvester, so maybe just having it stall here isn't so bad. But APC finally coming out here might be enough. Mohawks move on to the pad, and now APC moving to the middle. Will this Mohawk get there in time? And it does. And this should hold long enough. There we go. All right, finally. So Omli taking that first missile is really great for him. He's got lots of time in the world to get that Juggernaut online.
And you see that strong arm turret do absolutely nothing, because strong arm is pretty terrible on this map. He also could have put it 1 tile further forward and it might have done more, but
Unit ready.
yeah, a couple of missteps from Beast here. Really hurting him, honestly. Like, losing that first missile is really bad as well, because the best way to beat Juggernaut is simply to win the game. Because it takes so long for a Juggernaut to get into position and set up. It usually won't do it by the end of the second missile. But for the third missile, it'll definitely get into position.
Unit lost.
And it's going to be really hard for
exactly.
Beast to beat that. Yeah, here it comes.
All right, so we might actually see Juggernaut make an impact in a competitive game for the first time ever, as we see Juggernaut getting itself set up. It's going to start some damage here, and this PC really needs to block it from getting too close, and there it is. Of course, the interesting firing pattern of this Juggernaut means that if you micro units well enough, you can avoid most of the shots, as we see this APC now inches up forward and is in 1 tile distance from the Juggernaut. That means the Juggernaut cannot shoot it, so if he can get value out of this Orca, he might be able to dismantle it.
Well, that turret was a bad play because the Juggernaut got to shoot it immediately. I'd also like to point out that we had a tournament. Excuse me. We had a tournament in the beta where Gasty won with Juggernaut and Zone Troopers against against a decent player. So yeah.
Unit lost.
Oh, so unfortunate for Omli. He didn't have those pads. He actually might have had a chance to win the game there, but you know, it really doesn't matter too much, in fact, because now that he's got his Hammerheads online to protect this Juggernaut, what he's going to do is build a Liang drone, heal up that Juggernaut, and then he should be in pretty good shape from there on.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about. If Beast had won the first missile, he just wins the second one before the Juggernaut takes over the game. But now, why does Beast keep doing that? He keeps putting down these turrets that are allowing the Juggernaut to shoot.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Beast understands that with Juggernaut, if it's right in front of it, it can't shoot it.
I think he does,
but,
because
you
he
know-
keeps moving APCs up to it. Like, there's no other reason
Well,
to do that. He must know.
Yeah, you're probably right. But actually, so this pressure here from Beast means that it looks like the Juggernaut's going to finally go down, even with the Liang drone healing it. Yeah, the Pitbull and the missiles do clear it. Omli does have enough money to build another one, but I don't know if it makes sense to do that right now. We got these double Hammerheads with no targets to shoot. This Mohawk coming out as well. And this is a huge problem for Omli at the moment. He's overcommitted, and I don't know that he's going to have units to really fight these.
Yeah, there's just a ton of missile squads on the field that he can't remove. His Hammerheads do nothing. And
Oh,
yeah,
no.
there you go. You see Juggernaut doing what Juggernaut does best, which is lose games.
Yep.
Oh, Juggernaut.
Unit lost.
Well, a
Excellent
little
memes from
disappointing there,
Omni.
but
Excellent memes,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, Juggernaut. Really awful. Alright, here we go. Rooting for Omleet for the integrity of the tournament.
and of course, to be victorious, he has chosen Kane.
Excellent
Actually, a good
choice.
choice on Scorpion Tail. And you know, the way Omli plays Kane, I'm looking forward to seeing this game play out.
Sarpedon has already come up with a fix, so it should be good.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, Beast versus Omleet. Let's go. Omleet with Kane. Love to see it. Love to see Kayn, and he's playing a very good deck. This is pretty much like one of the best Nod decks you can play right now. Obviously, you don't normally play Kayn with it, but you can because the deck is so solid. And Beast is playing a Razorback Orca Wolverine deck. Not sure what's up with the Wolverine. Maybe he wants to prove to me that it's better than Juggernaut, but I don't see that happening in this game. So
Yeah.
it's going to be terrible versus Scorpion and Bike and Stealth Tank and Kayn. So
Exactly. That is exactly what I was going to say, is that Omlead has so many different options to take care of it that there's no way Wolverine really did much this game. But well, let's have a look. So we're about to get into under this first missile, of course. Omlead's going to clear these missiles before the missile fires, and he should flip it over to him. And yeah, it's exactly what we're going to see. These bikes are in position, so they'll be able to block those missiles no problem. And it doesn't even matter. He's on both pads. And there it is. Yeah, so Omlead taking that first missile, of course, not unexpected. And, you know, I'm a little surprised by Beast here. It seems like he's just lagging behind a little bit.
yeah, again, he hasn't gone Razorback early enough. He went Pitbulls instead. You're not going to beat a Fnatic deck with like Rifle Missile Pitbull. You can only beat a Fnatic deck with Razorback Missile. And Omlead now has so much pressure. He slaughters this Harvester, no problem. Yeah, this is looking really rough for Beast.
Yeah, here comes the first Stealth Tank clearing that Razorback. Of course, we know the one big difference between Stealth Tank and Phantom is that it can one-shot units like Razorback, so very good for him here. We got another tank coming out, of course, and this is the thing. Like, these Pitbulls are just not getting any value at all. Omlead's been able to clear them very, very easily, and now this Orca coming out again, it's just not going to be able to get enough value because of the fact that the Stealth Tank is here. He does nice. He's microwaving it quite well, avoiding those missiles, of course. If he does get it next to them, it will uncloak the Stealth Tank. So there it is. Gets another volley off on another Razorback. 120 Tiberium of value. Very good here for Omlead. This Orca just not doing anything at all. And here we are again. He's not able to get onto these pads. The Stealth Tank reloaded will be able to clear anything that comes onto that bottom pad. It does clear that Razorback. So, the Orca. Now this Razorback's going to sit there. He's going to get cleared by the Stealth Tank, and all he has to do is just block, and there it is. And this will be game.
Yep. Stealth Tank Fnatic, really obnoxious combo.
And not only has Omlead won the series, he has also just saved. So thank you so much.
We would have been fine. Sarpedon had some solutions.
Establishing battlefield
All right,
control.
Omlead versus Igor in the losers bracket. This round, this will be this match, and then Odyssey versus Victor. This will be the last best of 3. After this, we'll move on to best of 5s. So yeah, exciting times.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you know, I gotta say, I'm really liking the fact that we're seeing so many different commanders being used. We've almost seen. Have we seen every single commander played so far? Oh, maybe not Jackson. I think. Oh no, we did see Jackson at the very beginning. So I think this means we've seen every single commander in this tournament, which is really great.
Yeah, we've definitely seen Strongarm, Solomon, Liang, Jackson, Kayn, Oksana, Jade, and Seth. So yeah, we've seen them all. That's exciting
But
stuff.
yeah,
Unit ready.
here we are back on Tide Pools, and we got another matchup similar to Zaku APC deck, but of course this is actually using the exact deck list. And then Omlead switching over into this interesting Solomon deck. Yeah, you know, I think in general, because it's a 2-pad map, Solomon's going to be pretty good. But, you know, the thing is, APC is pretty good against Solomon because the missiles will still come out.
Yeah.
And the ion cannon won't destroy it afterwards, so...
Unit
This
lost.
is
don't know, who do you think's got the edge?
this is the exact deck Odyssey was playing, where I said this looks like a Solomon deck. Omlead is playing that exact deck with Solomon, so
Unit lost.
yeah, I think
Okay.
I don't know who has the edge in the matchup. I think it's probably Omlead, to be honest with you. It's going to come down to the APCs though. APCs are very strong against Omlead's deck.
Well,
Unit lost.
the other thing is Omlead's got access to Talon, which is going to do a really good job of shutting down Orcas. And of course, Pitbull does clear Talon in 4 shots, so it does kill it in a reasonable amount of time. But you know, the jump jets are going to be a pretty good unit. Same with the Mohawks. The Mohawks should be able to tank. So yeah, I think you're right. I think Omlead does have a bit of an edge here.
Unit ready.
I'm surprised to see double Harvester from Omlead. I guess he wants to spam Iron Cannons. Is he going to try and base kill?
Warning.
He is. He's going for the base
yes, he
kill
is.
with the nerfed
little
Iron
insane.
Cannon. That's kind of insane. How
Yeah,
many
because you see there.
Iron Cannons
many
do you need
shots?
now to kill half a base? Is it 4? It's
Let me think, how
15k,
much-
right? It's 15k hit points on half a base, and Iron Cannon now does 4,000.
Warning.
It's something like that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right.
I think you need
pretty close to that.
three Iron Cannons plus chip damage. Yeah, because it used to do
Yeah.
6k, now it does 4k, so 3 Iron Cannons is the same as 2 Iron Cannons was. But yeah, you just need 1 extra Iron Cannon. He's doing it. I mean, this is the 2nd Iron Cannon already.
Yeah.
And wow,
now
I
it's
think
actually
Omni's
low
gonna...
enough that these jump jets could push. Well, it's going to be close, but actually it doesn't really matter because Omni won that first missile, and even though these APCs are going to hold pads, they're not going to win the game because here it is. Jump jet needs 2 more shots. Oh, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
Just man.
All right then.
Establishing
All right, Omelette versus Igor. This is game 2. Omelette is 1-0 up. This is still a best of 3 elimination match, so Omelette wins this. He knocks Igor out of the tournament.
Yep.
And we're seeing Liang versus Strong Arm. What map are we on? We're on, actually forgotten.
Broken Mesa.
Broken Mesa, right, yeah. Turret is okay on Broken Mesa. It's pretty good. Liang, I think, is better, though. Liang is exceptionally good on this map because the pads are so spread out. Flying is really good on this map, so yeah,
Exactly.
I think Liang is amazing on this map.
Hopefully nobody brought snipers.
New objective received.
Nope. All right, actually, these are good choices overall, although I'm not so sure about Omelette's deck. Broken Mesa is not really great for double Harv. I guess in general, though, well, and I like this first play here where he's moving his Harvester onto the other tip fields there. It's a lot easier to defend it there than it is on the top portion. So great move by him there. But I'm not so sure about this game plan of his. I mean, his deck's very expensive, and he really does need 2 Harvs to operate this deck. So I'm not sure about his game plan. What do you think about this? I think Titan's going to be good, but will he get there is the question.
I don't think he needs double Harvester to operate because what's going to happen is his deck is Rifle, Missile, Mohawk, Razorback. That's his deck. Like, he has Hammerheads and Titans, but the first 4 are the units he's actually going to be using, and all of those are fine on 1 half. He'll only be making Hammerheads and Titans if he encounters something he can't beat with the other 4 units. So actually, this Drone Swarm from Igor is going to be an absolute nightmare for Omelette, because that's a unit he can't beat with his missiles. He has to make Hammerheads at some point to deal with them.
Unit lost.
So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, Omelette's actually going to be in a position where he's forced to make Hammerheads, which is not where he wants to be. And then if he wins the first missile, it's so easy for him to go Titans. But again, this is a good map for flying. There's a free spread out pads. It's very hard to keep your Titan with a Hammerhead at all times. At some point, you're going to have your Titan hold a pad, and then an Orca's going to show up, and your Hammerhead is going to be doing something else. So, yeah, I actually think this is not a great deck choice for Omelette. And you can see right now, is he going to be able to get enough stuff on the Razorback? Might get there in time, just about, but a Pipple's already there to respond. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Because the free pads are split up so much, you get these individual fights happening. And Omelette is behind in all 3 of these fights, which is really bad for him.
Big time.
And he's definitely going to lose the missile, yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Liang Drone came down to try and do his best, but it couldn't do that. There was a Pitbull on all 3 of these pads, actually, or at least 2 out of 3, and yeah, it just couldn't do anything. Omelette really lost that battle there because of what you said there. The Hammerheads have to be in different places having these one-on-one fights, and the Pitbulls made them irrelevant. So it was just very difficult for Omelette to contest any of those pads. And well, yeah, I think Igor might have this one locked down.
Yeah, I mean, Broken Mesa is a map where mobility is king, and Omelette's deck, whilst having triple air, it isn't actually as mobile as the double air plus Pitbull of Eagle. So, oh, here comes the Titan though, and it's ugly green Titan as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is pretty ugly, isn't it? That's the Tiberium skin. But you know, this Titan's not really doing a whole lot. It doesn't have anything to defend it with, and he's gonna just back into this corner. Finally, Hammerhead comes out, but Omelette's down to 1 Harvester, and he's not really getting as much money as he needs. Finally, you know, he doesn't have any pressure on his Harvester at the moment, but he needs to get onto these pads. His APC is proving to be a big problem. Finally, this Titan's gonna try and make it over there. Leandro gets there to stall it. The APC will clear it, and 1 more shot. There it goes. Will the Titan make it on? No, the APC for the first time blocking a pad, and there it is. Igor taking this game pretty easily, actually.
And I think that just came down to map and deck. Like, the Titan just was not relevant. It wasn't relevant enough quickly. All right, here we go. Match point, Omelette versus Igor. The winner of this progresses. The loser is eliminated from the tournament. So this is a big deal here. Omelette with Liang again, Igor with the Strong Arm again. Do you think we're going to see the same decks, Jeffrey?
No, I think Omelette's going to change things up, but I don't know to what. It's really hard to predict what he's going to run. I think Igor's going to run the same thing, though.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the same deck from Igor, and I agree that Omelette's going to change. Oh, he didn't. Oh, wow, he did a little bit. He's gone for Mammoth this time.
Okay.
That's a great choice.
So changed type from... Yeah, Mammoth think's going to be really good.
Yeah.
This should shut things down, and as long as Omelette stalls long enough, should be able to lock things down as soon as come out. Even though it does cost 250 now, it doesn't really matter that much. Really what we're talking about is maybe 2 or 3 seconds of time. added to getting the Mammoth Tank out. So that shouldn't make much of a difference here. But yeah, I think like you said, this is really good for Omlete, and Strong Arm, not a great choice here on Stonewall, especially an open map like this.
Yep.
So a little surprised to see that.
Yeah, Strong Arm is fine, not great. I'm still surprised to see Liang from Omlete. He's clearly still doing this plan of effectively playing his 4 or 5 card deck in the early game. But now you see he's gone early double harvester. He's clearly committing to this Mammoth Tank plan. Mammoth Tank will actually take over pads, unlike Titan. Like Titan struggled to get through an APC. Mammoth Tank will not struggle at all. But the problem is again going to be this drone swarm. These drone swarms are going to be an absolute nightmare for Omlete.
Yeah, it's going to take him a long time to deal with them. He can't use missiles because defensive will win 1v1 against him. And that's exactly what we're about to see here. These drone swarms are going to hold steady. So Liang drone coming down should stall the missile, but this Razorback will eventually go down to this Pitbull. It will take some time, but it should go down before the missile fires. Actually, no, that missile moved off. He's got another Razorback to clean things up and finally gets on there. The single missile, though, won't make it there. But actually, no, it does. Oh, a little bit of misstep from Igor. He's not going to be able to clear it very quickly. This might give enough time for Omlete to build something to contest the pads more. And this is exactly what he wants. He needs the time, but finally, Pitbull moves on to the far right pad. Razorback and Mohawk can't clear it in a timely fashion. And then Igor takes the first missile, but really it doesn't matter too much. There's so much time has passed that Omlete's not far away from his Mammoth Tank.
Yeah, 142 missile is fantastic. Omlete's super happy. As you can see, he's, what, 60 tip off the Mammoth Tank now? The second missile hasn't even started charging yet, and he's about to get the Mammoth Tank out. Omlete is in such a commanding position here. Like, Igor wins this game by firing the missile before the Mammoth Tank cleans up house, but he's not even close. He's nowhere close to firing this missile. This Mammoth is easily going to come out and take over the game.
So here it is, Mammoth Tank is out.
Even now, the missile was not charged at all when he built this Mammoth, and we're almost half charged for the Mammoth to actually start doing something. So yeah, if the missile had been like 3/4 charge when the Mammoth came out, Igor would just have won the game. But way too much stall on that first missile.
So interestingly, we see what, kind of something odd here, and in fact this... As we see here, Omlete's economy has actually slowed down quite a bit. He's lost a harvester that wasn't harvesting at all. This Mammoth Tank will survive, though. It's not going to be removed in time for the missile to go off. So now it really just comes down to, can Omlete take this missile? This Mammoth Tank doing a really great job of holding these pad on the far left, hammered on the far right. APC can't make it in time. Turd doing absolutely nothing. And that gives Omlete the second missile. And now, how does Igor win this game? I don't know.
Yeah, it's really difficult for Omlete to come back on this one. Oh, sorry, for Igor to come back. Like, this Mammoth Tank is now going to take over. He's probably just going to Mammoth the base, honestly. Like, he's in a position to send the Mammoth Tank. He should be killing Igor's Harvester, I think, to cut him off of economy. Instead, he's going for the pads. It's also a perfectly reasonable strategy. Like, 2 Hammerheads, 2 Mammoths. I don't know how Igor deals with that. But if he cuts off his economy completely, then that would also be... I mean, Igor has 280 Tiberium, like... He just needs to actually be able to use his units effectively, which is very hard to do against the Hammerheads and Mammoths.
If he can dislodge these Mammoth Tanks, he would actually be able to win the game. But that's the question, right? 2 Hammerheads are on the field. How will the Orcas ever be able to get their volleys off?
Yep.
And that's pretty much what we're going to see for the rest of this game. Is Igor's going to desperately try to claw his way through, but no, Omlete's got enough money to contest this. He's got 2 Mammoth Tanks gaining tons of value. He doesn't have any Harvesters either, but it doesn't matter. It's just going to be too much for Igor to deal with. And yeah, I think that's going to be a game.
Yeah, no Harvester is actually where Omlete wants to be at this point, because he doesn't need to make units. He just wants pop cap. He wants to be able to make cheaper units. And yeah, Igor loses that game with 300 tip in the bank, just unable to actually convert his money into an effective use. All right, Odyssey versus Victor. We are now up to round... Where are we? We're at round 6 of the losers bracket. This is losers bracket, so elimination is viable for the loser. Say viable, guaranteed for the loser.
Yeah, for sure.
Victor with so we're seeing Jade versus Oksana, so I suspect we'll see a Chem Warrior versus Inferno deck would be my guess.
Well, Odyssey did play Chem Buggy the last time. Yep. Okay.
Oh, yep, there it is. And no Infernos either.
And Victor running Tick Tanks. Okay, well, first time we're seeing Tick Tanks in this tournament, and you don't see them too often. I don't know. I mean, could Tick Tanks be a hidden gem, perhaps?
I mean, honestly, Tick Tank is pretty good on this map and in this matchup. Like, the only Banshee really is effective against it, so maybe.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like APC in the fact that it can hold pads. And as soon as he gets, and especially on a map like this, like if he plants it on the middle pad there, he's going to create another choke point where Odyssey's not going to really push through that middle section. So maybe, especially with Kambuggy being his Jade catalyst, I guess, you know, it's going to be pretty tough for him to get to the base. So yeah, I got to say, actually, Tic might be a good choice here.
Yeah, I think Tic Tanc's going to end up being surprisingly good in this matchup. Here comes the first one. Gets it onto the pad.
Oh, boost it. And of course, with the boost, it will be able to burrow a little bit quicker. It does clear that Kambuggy. It was able to chase it with that extra movement speed, so that's great. But now he's just going to move it around here. And actually, so far, it's been a pretty big problem here for Odyssey, not really having much to fight it. Even if he uses these lasers, the lasers, as you see, it takes quite a while before he's going to be able to take them out, which means that Odyssey should clear him in time. But we're about to see this first missile go down. Victor on all 3 of the pads, pulls the Harvester just to guarantee it. And I'm not sure why he did that, but...
I think he was just running away from the attacking unit rather than pulling it.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe. But either way, it was a pretty comfortable missile there for Victor.
Yeah, Victor pretty dominant there. Odyssey trying to get some Harvester pressure to get back into this one, but Victor, triple laser squad to defend it. He is not letting this Harvester go.
No. No, and of course that means that this Kambuggy from Odyssey should be pretty good. Will Victor get a Tic Tank out to stop them from clearing these lasers? That's going to be the question. So he's got the first squad down. He's going to start chewing through the second one here, and so not too bad value so far. But the Tic Tank only needs 1 shot before it's going to clear this Kambuggy, and there it goes. And now the Tic Tank's going to move over towards that middle pad. He's actually no, sorry, he's going to move it through the bottom there. The Scorpion tank will lose 1v1 to the Tic Tanks, just depends on if they're bird or not, but will he get it onto these pads? And it looks like he will. This Banshee should go down to these lasers that are boosted. It's going to be close. There it is, Ghost Stone, but the Kairos missile actually does clear one of those Tic
Wow, I'm
Tanks.
surprised it cleared it. I did not think it was going to kill that thing.
But it did, so that's actually quite good. But the second Tic Tank there is going to hold steady. This Banshee won't be able to clear it in time. These boosted lasers will clear the Banshee, and now he's going to use this Tic Tank to block the pads. That should be good enough, and the Banshee doesn't make it there in time. Victor takes that second missile, winning this game pretty quick.
Yeah, and those Tic Tanks were actually very good. Like, yeah,
They were.
Tic Tank was exceptional in that matchup. All right, here we are, Victor versus Odyssey, game 2. Victor is up 1-0 right now. This is a best of 3 still, so if Victor wins this, Odyssey is eliminated from the tournament.
And I gotta say, seeing Strong Arm doesn't give me, you know, a good feeling about what Odyssey's going to bring to the table, because Fortress really favors air units.
Yeah.
I think Air Mammoth would have been a reasonable choice, but Victor, of course, loves his bomber deck, so I feel like that's what he's going to bring. But let's have a look.
3, 2,
Yeah, it's a very good map for bombers. Oh, wow. Okay. Brings the Fnatic deck.
Right.
I mean, this deck is excellent, but yeah, on this map, I'm a little surprised.
Harvester ready.
Odyssey also going for like a very aggressive deck. Both players with very aggressive decks on what I would consider to be quite a good map for expensive units.
Unit ready.
Yeah.
So a little surprised by that.
Yeah. I think Odyssey, well, he's played this deck in this tournament already, and you know, I think maybe he's just going for, because this is game match for him potentially. He's,
Yep.
you know, I got to bring out my best, something I'm comfortable with, so that's probably why he's playing it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's the right choice, but well, you know, we'll see. Maybe he can make some magic out of this.
This is, I mean, he hasn't lost yet with this deck, so it makes sense to bring it again. Although,
Unit lost.
I mean, this is not, if he was just going to bring this deck, then fortune has not favored him with this map.
Right, especially against a guy like Victor.
Yeah.
Building
All right, well, so far we're seeing Victor just relying on these cheap units. Fnatic's coming out with Wheels to support. They're going to chew through these missiles with ease. Turret coming down to support. You know, it's not going to really do a whole lot. It's only going to deal with these wheels. And of course, easiest thing to do about a turret is just move away from it, which is exactly what we're seeing here. We're seeing some area units come out from Odyssey, Talon, and Mohawk to support. The Mohawk's going to be really good, of course, with only those lasers to deal with. The boosted, they clear the Talon, but of course these riflemen are going to deal with those lasers. But now the thing is, Odyssey needs to get onto these pads. So he's going to move that Mohawk over to the right. Talon's going to go up to that middle pad. This should be good enough to win him the missile. I think it's going to hold long enough. And yes, there it is. So the Scorpion tank couldn't make it onto the pad. Fanatics could not clear the jump jets in a timely fashion, and that gives them the missile.
Yeah, Mohawk barely survives the first set of bike missiles, but then ends up trading with the bikes due to the defensive nature of the Mohawk there.
Yep.
unit
So a little bit of pressure here on the Harvester from Victor. Of course, not going to really do a whole lot. Attack Bike's not doing a great, don't have a lot of Harvester damage, so not really be too much of a, not going to matter too much there. But we got a Stealth Tank on the field now, and this is going to be problematic for Odyssey. He needs to rely on his area units to clear these Talons, as well as the tank. So this Stealth Tank is going to start to gain a lot of value, I feel.
Yeah, Stealth Tank with double boost is going to just chew through these air units pretty quickly. Oh, not sure
Oh,
about
man.
that. Takes 2 hits
Ooh.
in exchange for 1 stealth tank missile when a whole volley would just take out the Mohawk.
Yeah, he should have waited there just a little bit longer to unload, but finally does get the Mohawk down. Odyssey not protecting it very well. His Fanatics moving up to that middle pad as well are going to chew through those jump jets. Stealth Tank is reloaded and cloaked as well. He's going to clear this Talon. It is at 1 HP, so this missile should clear, but no, he misfires onto the Fanatics. However, it doesn't matter. Does manage to get 1 shot off clearing it, but we're about to fire the second missile, and Victor's on all 3 of the pads. This ain't looking good for Odyssey. He really needs to get there in time, even with their units on his side. He just can't make it, and that Stealth Tank holds steady. Talon can't do anything about it. Jump jets don't make it in time, and Victor takes the second missile.
Yeah, and Stealth Tank Fnatic once again showing how it's pretty much the most powerful thing you can be doing in Rivals.
100%. And there, the Stealth Tank does get one of the shots off onto the Harvester as a 1 HP, so the missiles did clear, but not before it got the Harvester bounty. So not bad for Victor. Of course, Odyssey running a very cheap deck means losing Harvester isn't as detrimental. So not going to be a decider of the game here. It's more going to be the fact that these 2 Stealth Tanks are just going to continue to get more and more value. And the Fanatics doing such a great job of chewing through these jump jets has caused a huge problem here for Odyssey.
Unit lost.
Yeah, and like I don't think we've seen Victor make a unit that isn't a Fnatic or a Stealth Tank in a really long time.
Yeah.
Because that's the combo. That's all you need. So
Yeah.
Lost.
he's even pulled his Harvester now because like 2 Stealth Tanks and some Fanatics, he just doesn't feel like he needs money anymore. He's just gonna win the game with these units.
Unit
Yeah, this is quite an early Harvester pull as well. He does have 200 Tiberium, so they could be a little bit risky, but you know what? It doesn't really matter too much. He's getting enough value out of these units on the field that, like you said, this is all he really needs to win the game, and so far that's kind of what we're seeing, but the stalling's not great. He does need to charge the missile efficiently. He's going to continue to pull his Harvester, so finally, we're getting close to the 3rd missile, and Stealth Tank doesn't clear that jump jet. It's just a single one there, stalling the missile for just a little bit too long, which may not be too advantageous for him, but doesn't matter. Talon doesn't get onto that top pad. Stealth Tank clears it anyway, and Victor takes the 3rd missile.
defense.
I think Odyssey overcommitted a little on infantry there, trying to fight these Fanatics. He needed to just throw enough A units to overwhelm the Stealth Tanks once Victor pulled his Harvester. Alright, Omni versus Maximus. Still in the losers bracket here, but now we've moved on to the best of 5s. So, slightly longer series for this one. We've
It'll
got
be a little bit of a longer haul,
Strong
but-
Arm versus Oksana.
Yeah, lots of strong arm, although I think Maximus is going back to that Wolverine splash deck he was playing a lot of, so that's pretty much what I'm expecting to see from him.
Yeah, I
Omni,
think so
though,
too.
you know, you never know, so... maybe he's
Omni
gonna
is,
play
yeah,
Avatar.
Omni's a wild card. He could bring literally anything. I think we're going to see Flame Tank from Omni. No Flame Tank? Omni with the
No.
most boring of the decks. He's playing
What is this?
my Fnatic deck. And Maximus
boring.
once again with the Sandstorm instead of the Wolverine, which I mean it's better than the Wolverine, but also Sandstorms are not very good anymore, so I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is, like, Maximus doesn't have anything that really shuts down Fanatics, like Razorback or Snipers, you know, something like that. Those 2 units would be very helpful. Even Drone Swarm would have been a lot better. But he's got Talon and Rifles. So, yeah, I don't really like Maximus's chances here. I think he needed a much stronger anti-infantry unit if he's going to have a much better chance. But, well, you know what? I don't know. We'll see.
We actually have not seen snipers today.
You're right. Not a single Sniper squad.
Everyone's played Razorbacks instead, and generally speaking, we've seen the Razorbacks struggle against stealth tanks. So maybe snipers would have been a better choice, honestly.
Oh, I really thought maybe that Orca was going to make it on that
me
bottom
too.
pad and flip things around, but nope. Maximus just he didn't really have anything on the field to contest, so yeah, Omni gets that 1st missile.
And again, like I don't want to say it, but Maximus left Omni with a bunch of one-man wheels and then lost to them, and I love to see that. huge fan of pop capping into losing the missile to the one-man squads. That's my favorite thing in Rivals, so
Yeah.
pretty happy to see that one, I gotta say.
I mean, it's real easy to pop cap, like leave units on the field, but it's another thing to actually turn it into a strategy where you're going to win.
Yep.
Because, you know, if you do that, there's another step. You got to clear the units to flip the missiles, so... Didn't see that happen. But, you know, so far, actually, Maximus is starting to claw back a little bit here. He got Omni's Harvester shutting down his economy, meaning that he's not going to be able to build tanks or stealth tanks right away. He does have that stealth tank sitting pretty. It didn't really do so much unloading onto the jump jets. Now, we get another missile coming down, and Maximus looking in pretty good position here. He's got 2 or 3 pads. Jump jets are holding steady with that Talon, and yeah, Omni just could not contest, losing that 2nd missile.
Yeah, Maximus got the Harvester kill, and Omni was pretty much broke. Haven't really seen him make many Fanatics yet, so little surprised by that. He's kind of losing to these jump jets, but hasn't really made that many fanatics.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah,
that
he
he's
really
lost all
does
his
need to shut
stealth
them down.
tanks, like Omlete needs stealth tanks really. Like that's the stealth fanatic combo is what he's trying to do.
Yep. Yeah, as you see here, he's actually just trying to pull things off with a slightly different composition. The attack bikes will get there too against the Talons, but I think, like you said, he needs at least like one stealth tank with a couple of fanatics on the field to start to shut this down. And even though these Talons are low health, they're actually getting some pretty decent value. Finally going down to the double bike squad there. However, Sandstorm coming out, which, you know, Sandstorm's going to be decent. It just depends on can Omlete fight it very well. It's low enough health now after the nerfs that it won't be too difficult to remove, but we're getting close to this third missile, and maybe with its full health, it's going to actually do something. Well, the Sandstorm on the middle pad starting to shut down these lasers. Orca coming out to try and take care of this tank. With the Sandstorm support finally does. Talon's going to move over to that far left, and now Sandstorm's got this middle pad secure, and actually Maximus is now going to win the game.
Yeah, I mean Omlete was completely broke when the Sandstorm came out, and he didn't have a harvester, and he only just rebuilt it, so there was no way he could fight a tech unit. Like if he had money, he could have fought it, but he just had nothing when it came out, so he's got completely dumpstered by it. Game 2, Omlete versus Maximus. Omlete 1-0 down.
Yep, that's right. And it is a best of 5, so, you know, still lots in this series left to go. Omlete switching over to GDI, so again, you know, the thing with Omlete, you just don't know what he's going to play. Maybe it's going to be another boring deck, but we'll find out. And Maximus continuing to use this strong arm deck. Although, again, you know, with him, it's the tech unit that he's been changing out. So is he going to go back to Wolverine, or is he going to continue with Sandstorm, or who knows? Maybe we'll see some Mammoth tank.
Yeah, he's very comfortable with this this first 5 cards. The only thing he changes is his tech unit. And Omlete's gone for a Mammoth.
Yeah.
Interested by this one. I think maybe he's gone for a Mammoth because you can't pop cap it. I'm just guessing.
Well, no drone swarm, so maybe you're right.
Yep, he's gone for the Razorback over the Drone Swarm. He's got as few squads in his deck as he can possibly manage.
Yeah, he's putting his foot down on that nonsense.
Yeah, you
but
see
here we are.
Maximus, even with Omlete trying to avoid it. But Maximus, like, Omlete's okay with this, right? Because Maximus just spent like 30 seconds pop capping Omlete and not charging the pads. And now Omlete gets a lot of stall out of that, and he's playing double Harvester, so he's probably really happy with how this has gone.
I would say so. Yeah, so far this has been pretty good. We're at 45 seconds, not even halfway charged. Omlete's been doing a great job of making sure that he's stalling or he's off the pads. Of course, now these 2 Talons coming out means it's going to be a little bit difficult for Omlete to deal with them, because his first anti-air unit besides missiles is Hammerhead. So these Talons are actually going to be a pretty big issue, and hopefully Maximus realizes that, because he can use this to his advantage, and, you know, potentially get this missile off in a quick enough fashion to stop the Mammoth thing from getting out. But here we are, first missile coming down. Of course, as no surprise here, Omlete can't really fight it. He tries to pull the Liang drone, but it doesn't really matter. He lost his his militants on the middle pad, and the rifleman, which meant that it was pretty comfortable for Maximus to take that first missile.
Yeah, huge waste of 50 Tib on that Liang drone as well. It didn't stall at all.
It was.
So he's now just down 50 Tiberium for no reason, which is a really big deal, because he, against Maximus's deck, he can't just make a Mammoth. He needs a Mammoth and a Hammerhead.
Yep,
So he needs,
exactly.
you know, he doesn't need 250, he needs 340. So yeah, he makes the Hammerhead here. He has to keep this alive. If he loses this Hammerhead somehow before the Mammoth comes out, then he's definitely going to lose the game.
I
So
agree.
he needs to keep this alive and also make the Mammoth tank. Oof, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. You can't afford to lose this Hammerhead here. You don't need to remove Maximus's units. You just need to have a Hammerhead alive when the Mammoth comes out. And now he's forced to make another Hammerhead, and now the Mammoth is too late and the game is over.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Omlete really did try here. He's going to stall the missile a little bit, but that Talon's going to clear the drone, and yeah, that's going to give Maximus the game.
Honestly, given how Maximus always plays exactly the same deck, I'm really surprised to see Omlete not just go for a slingshot. Alright, match point. Omlete versus Maximus. Omlete needs to win this one to stay in the tournament, because it is a best of 5, and Maximus is 2-0 up. Maximus looking like he's going to play the same deck again. Solomon for Omlete. Interested to see what he goes with as the rest of the deck. This is actually a very good map for Maximus, because he has jump jets and talons and orcas, and this is a very good air map. So yeah, fantastic map for Maximus. Really interested to see what Omlete's decided to bring.
Yeah, let's have a look. I have some ideas, but let's take a look.
Ooh, interesting.
Interesting. Okay.
So Maximus has gone for the Mammoth this time.
Yes, he has. I don't know about this. This is really weird. I mean, okay, so I like Maximus's deck for the most part. I really felt like who's going to bring Sandstorm again. I thought Sandstorm would be better than Mammoth.
Yeah,
but...
I'm surprised. I think the Mammoth is because he was like thinking Omleet might bring Mammoth as well, and he wants to be able to fight the Mammoth with Mammoth, but I don't know. I really like Omleet's choice of bringing Pitbulls and Talons and Hammerheads. Like, normally it would be a massive overcommitment on anti-air, but Maximus just like always plays this double air, triple infantry deck. The biggest issue for Omleet is going to be jump jets, I guess.
Yep, the jump jets for sure.
He only really has Talon to handle those. Yeah, also
Well,
like the Predator is a slightly weird choice from Omleet as well. Maybe the Predator is probably to counter whatever tech unit Maximus brings, but obviously it's not going to work against Mammoth.
Yep. And unfortunate for Omleet, he loses his first missile against Maximus, who actually really doesn't matter that much. He's running one Harvester on a Tech Splash deck at this point. He's really not running a Mammoth Tank deck at this point. So really losing that first missile, not a huge deal for Omleet. He still can make his way back, but it's like you said, these jump jets are going to prove to be a huge problem because even though, you know, Talon directly counters them, they just don't have great infantry damage. So clearing them in a timely fashion is tough to do.
Maximus's deck is actually very weak to Talon because his only anti-air is missiles and Talons. So if you have defensive Talons, you beat both of those units. So yeah,
that's true.
Normally when I play against Maximus, my strategy against him is just to make Talons. Like, I just make thousands of Talons because he's really weak to them. But yeah, Omleet has not done that and is now a little bit behind. And also, once Maximus makes tons of Talons to fight your Talons, you make a single Pitbull, which hard counters them.
Defense online.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. We see a turret get slammed down on that middle section there. Of course, the Pitbull coming on has to go underneath of it, and the Pitbull is coming out in numbers here from Omleet. He needs to be able to clear these Talons, but this isn't looking so good. He really needs to get onto these pads. He's not going to make it onto that third pad in time, so this is game.
Yeah, I think Maximus has played that game very well. And yeah, took Omleet down. All right, Victor taking on Sant. I'm not sure if that's how you meant to pronounce it, but yeah, haven't seen Sant yet today. But he is he made it a long way in the winner's bracket before falling to the loser's bracket, so should be pretty interesting. And I believe this is a Brazilian mirror because Victor is obviously Brazilian, and so Sant is in a Brazilian alliance.
Yeah.
So we might see two Brazilian players here.
You could be right.
Hopefully not too many lag issues. We're on a North American server. That's the closest we can get. So.
Okay, so Victor's brought Juggernaut.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure about this.
Very surprised by the Juggernaut choice. Sant has a pretty normal deck, although Chem Buggy Jade rather than Chem Warrior Jade, very interesting choice. It's actually the CKM deck, but with Chuggy instead of Warriors.
Right, you're right.
And both players, well, Victor looking like he's trying to pop cap. I don't know if Sant's trying to pop cap or if Victor's guy just hasn't walked in yet. We'll have to find out. No, it looks like just Victor going for the pop capping strategy.
Of course. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Oh, yeah. He's pop capping for sure. As we see, he leaves alone those two individual militants. He's about to do the same thing again. Although it looks like Sant's going to try and return the favor as he pop caps one of the single riflemen on Victor's side. But now the Chem Buggy's out. Chem Buggy actually is going to be super impactful because Victor's just gone straight to Pitbull. And these two Pitbulls are going to clean house. As we see, especially with the Liang drone, they're going to be able to clear both the Chem Buggy and the bikes with ease. Which means Sant's going to have to continue to build these bikes. But actually, I would have rather have seen maybe lasers come out. Either way, though, it looks like he's going to clear this Chem Buggy finally in the top left. These bikes are going to hold steady, but needs to block this top right, but doesn't. And in fact, the single bikes are actually going to clear that rifleman, but okay, maybe not. And then now this Pitbull moving down to the bottom will get onto the pad. It does. And here we are. I think Victor's now going to take this missile.
Yeah, and Sant actually can't beat Pitbulls with his deck. Like lasers are too slow to catch them. Bikes lose to them in the like bike versus Pitbull fight, and laser drones lose to them as well. So Victor, I believe, has built two Pitbulls. Neither of them has died yet. They're both still on more than half hit points. He dominated that missile with them. Yeah, so like he's gonna get a Harvester kill here as well. Oh, Sant nukes his own Harvester, take it out, and both the Pitbulls. Pretty nice play. But what he's effectively done there is spent his 80 to prevent Victor getting 80. So
yeah,
I don't know if he has the money to be making that kind of a trade. And yeah, he's just so weak to Pitbulls. Like his deck is so weak to Pitbull.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate. Even though he does have lasers in the deck, it's just not going to work out for him. And yeah, right now we're kind of seeing this formation here at the top right. Juggernaut finally coming out, and I don't know if it's going to be quite enough. The Catalyst Missile coming down. It can't move out of the way. Will it clear it? It does.
Wow.
Oh my God,
See ya,
that is
Jug.
savage. Right? It's gone. So now this Chem Monkey trying to clear these missiles. It'll get onto the pad. I think it's going to clear them at the same time. No, in fact, the Chem Monkey does win that, so that's going to give Sant this missile.
Oh, no!
What?
What have you done? No! And he
What just
steps off the
happened?
pad! He steps off the pad at the
my
last
God.
second and gives it to Victor. Oh my god. Absolute nightmare. Wow.
All right, we got this is game number 2, right? Or
Yep,
game number
2.
3? Yeah, game number 2. So Sant's licking his wounds a little bit after that savage flip that he caused. He's going to look to redeem himself a little bit. He's switched over to GDI, I believe, and Victor going to continue forward with Nod. Let's have a look at these decks.
Actually, Victor was GDI last game because he had Juggernaut. They both swapped
you're right.
faction. They
You're
also
right, they
swapped
both switched,
commanders,
okay.
right? No, Sant was playing Jade, sorry. Alright, here we go. We're on Open Water. Open Water is actually Victor's favorite map. This is the map, whenever you do loser picks, he always picks Open Water if he loses. So he's playing his Inferno deck. This is like his standard Inferno deck. Oh no, hang on, sorry. He has Scorpion instead of Bikes for some reason, so not his standard Inferno deck.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this buggy
Yeah.
plan.
No, I think the
it's-
buggy's okay. He often plays the buggy. I don't like the Scorpion. I think Scorpion's gonna be terrible in this
Yeah.
in this matchup. The Bikes would have actually been much better. Sant going for a double tech build though. Really don't like Sandstorm Mammoth. I think Zone Trooper Mammoth is significantly better, but
Yeah, I agree.
we'll see.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Inferno's going to do a pretty good job against Mammoth Tank. Like, I guess in numbers, it can probably win, but I really feel like Victor's got to concentrate on firing the missile rather than trying to deal with the Mammoth Tank. So we'll
Yeah.
see if that ends up happening.
Victor is also like really weak to Sant's air units because he doesn't have bikes.
Yeah.
So like Talon plus Orca is going to be hard for him to deal with. And he's not even charging here. He's going for the harvesters instead.
Yeah,
This
I'm
buys
not sure
Sant a
what the
lot of
plan here is.
time. Like Sant actually has time to get back on these pads now. He was going to be in trouble there. Oh, might be enough. Oh, the Liang drone to steal, but the buggy, the
Liang comes
boosted
down.
buggy.
Oh, clears it in time,
Oh,
and
is
in
it gonna
fact, it
be
might
enough?
almost win against his Orca. It doesn't quite do it, but it almost did. Buggy having actually some decent anti-air damage. Now he's on all 3 of the pads, of course, and there it is. Victor taking the missile, but that took a little bit of
Yeah,
time. We're at about a minute 20.
122. I don't think Victor's super hyped about how long that took. But Sant did make a lot of Orcas, which are expensive. He has actually got no money right now. Obviously, the main thing he wants to do is live so the Tiberian ramp increases. It doesn't actually matter how much money he's saved. Once he gets to the point where he's making like 11 tip a second, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's basically what Sant is looking for here, is just survive until that 2-minute 30 mark.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, you know, so far, Sant's not doing too bad of a job, but like you said, he spent a lot of money on these Orcas, so he's getting there. He's almost quite there. And, you know, the missile hasn't really been charging too efficiently, so it's quite possible we'll see one come out. But this nice harvester pressure from Victor, but, you know, unfortunate for him, Sant's got Liang in his deck, so the harvester's not going to actually go down. But finally, the first Inferno coming out with a Phantom to support. This should be enough to shut things down, but he lobs it off onto the missiles. The Sandstorm now should be able to get some value. And in fact, I'm surprised to see Victor just not backing off in time, nearly losing that Inferno to the Sandstorm. Double Sandstorm coming out as well is going to hold pretty comfortably on these pads. The Inferno won't be enough to clear both of them. And this Talon clearing that Inferno, not great there for Victor. And now he's got a little bit short on cash. This Liang drone coming in to heal up the Sandstorm, doing what it does best. And even after those nerfs, it's doing a pretty good job of healing against these lasers. So now as we see Sant, he's just starting to shut things down. He's really trying to hold these pads as best he can. This Inferno's going to get a shot off and clear that first Sandstorm, but he needs to clear both of them. And now this Talon, he's going to move on to that middle pad, I think. No, he's moving the Sandstorm instead. Actually, this is looking pretty good for Sant so far. He might get to the Mammoth Tank at this rate.
Yeah, I think Victor is making a mistake here by going for Infernos, which die to the Sandstorm very easily. Look how well this Scorpion is doing. If these 2 Infernos he had in the field were Scorpions instead, or if one of them was a Scorpion, yeah, you can see that the new Sandstorm not doing anywhere near as well as the old Sandstorm would have. Wow, and it goes down, and yeah, there you go. There's the nerfs to the Sandstorm. You'd never have seen that pre-nerf. Pre-nerf, those Sandstorms would have easily won that fight. I think
Yeah,
Victor
tough game
had
there
just
for
made
Sant.
more Scorpions. He would have taken them out very easily.
Establishing
All right, match point, Broken Mesa. Sant is down 2-0. He needs this one to stay in the game. Victor, if he wins this, does advance to losers round 8, where he will face Maximus. And Victor once again switching back to the GDI here. It's Sant on Oksana. So again, we see faction flips.
Yep, for both players.
Wait for the game to load.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Ah, there it is.
New objective.
Oh, okay. So we got Juggernaut versus Rockworm.
Wow.
Oh, and you've got to
okay,
be
Al, this is
sad.
gonna be
You've got to be
great.
sad if you brought if you brought Juggernaut and your opponent's brought a Rockworm. That has to be.
Yeah.
That's just absolute hard counter. Feels like Victor's
the-
memeing a little here, honestly.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know if he actually has a serious game plan put together. I do agree with you. I think this is a very unusual choice in general, especially on a map like Broken Mesa where the Juggernaut actually can't reach all 3 of the pads in one position.
Unit
So,
ready.
yeah, and especially with Rockworm on the other side, I think Sant might take this. You know, it's looking pretty good for him so far. But let's see how this game plays out. So Sant builds his first chem buggy. He's coming out. He's going to deal with these riflemen with ease. Of course, one of the issues though is that the chem buggy might have a problem once the Pitbull get online, as we saw in a previous game, and that's pretty much what we're about to see. So this Pitbull coming in should be able to hold steady against his chem buggy. He's also got Rhino in his deck, which is very unusual. But this Rhino with the Liang should win against these lasers moving into them. Pitbull's going to hold steady against that chem buggy, but of course he's not on any of the 3 pads. Langdron's going to try and make it there, but it'll lose to the lasers, and that's not going to be enough. So there it is. Sant takes the first missile.
Pitbull just couldn't kill the Chem Buggy in time, you know.
Received.
Nope.
And the Rhino also tanking for quite well. The Rhino couldn't kill the lasers in time either. So yeah, looking pretty bad for Victor here. He lost first missile. His tech unit isn't very good, especially in the matchup.
Unit ready.
Yep.
So yeah, I think Victor's in a lot of trouble here.
I think he is, and the thing is, both of them are running on a single harvester, so it's not like we're going to see their tech units come out anytime soon. As we see, Sant's got about 150 Tiberium. That's still a little ways away from his first Rockworm, and same thing for Victor. He's actually been spending a lot of money on these Pitbulls and Liang drones, so it's not going to get there anytime soon, and we may not even see it happen. Although, having said that, the Temple of Nod is finally at percent.
Unit ready.
Yeah, and Victor's going for this harvester. If he gets this harvester kill, he can possibly build himself a Juggernaut. He's at 100 Tiberium, so yeah, I think if he gets the harvester kill, he can build the Jug.
Oh, and actually, Sant's moved his harvester off the Tiberium field. He hasn't been harvesting while it's been going down. Really not good for him. This missile's coming down to it. Talon's going to move on to that bottom pad. It's going to lose to the lasers first, though. Pitbull's going to lose to these lasers as well. Will this chem buggy get on that top pad? It may not. We see attack bikes coming out to deal with both the air units, but this Liang drone should create enough value for Victor to hold steady. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see. Sant doesn't have enough money to get to his Rockworm, so now all he needs to do is block this middle pad, and there it is. Yep, Victor wins the second missile.
And Victor got that harvester kill as well. He's got 300 Tiberium now. Could definitely go Juggernaut if he wanted to.
Lost.
I think there it is.
Yep.
And
and a
same
Rockworm
time as the
at same
Rockworm.
time. Oh, savage. Yeah, this Rockworm coming out, of course, the thing about Juggernaut, it takes a long time to unset up, I guess, and the Rockworm should be able to clear it in a timely fashion. So here it is, coming out, it's going to get one shot off that should clear it. Oh no, goes for the Pitbull first. It's going to go after the Rhino next. Nope, there it is. Okay, finally takes out the Juggernaut. Another one coming out, of course, it unburrows, and that's all it needs to do. It's going to be very, very easy for Sant to overcome this.
Yeah, and Victor only has Talon as an air unit, so he basically can never beat a Rockworm.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have air to ground,
Unit lost.
anti-vehicle to kill a Rockworm. So yeah, Victor's spamming Talons now as his only hope. Sant responding with bikes, which is a great response, and also has this Phantom out. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard for Victor to win this one.
Like, granted, Talon spam can win against Phantoms, but I mean, the fact is, we're over 2.5 minutes into this game, and Langdron's not going to do anything. Of course, this Pitbull might clear this bike while the Langdron's holding, because he can't stop moving the bikes, and there it is. Gets onto the pads, getting healed up by the drone. It's going to stall, but no, it doesn't really matter too much. He's finally gotten rid of that Pitbull on the middle pad, and it's just going to be a matter of time before Sant wins this.
Too many Phantoms.
Unit lost.
Really hard for Victor to contest against double Phantom. And he can't use any other unit to contest because of the Rockworms, so... I'm surprised to see Sant hasn't sent... There we go. I was going to say, I'm surprised to see he hasn't sent another unit to the bottom. This Rockworm heading to the bottom is going to be lights out for Victor. Once it gets there, there's no way he can fight anymore.
Unit lost.
Yeah, and there
Yep,
it is. And that's going to be
here it is
game.
about to unburrow, and there we are.
Nuclear
Yeah, one Rockworm on each pad. Nothing Victor can do anymore.
Unit
Yep.
lost.
Very unfortunate it wasn't the purple-headed Rockworm.
All right, here we go. Match point for Victor. 2-1 up. Sant needs to win 2 more in a row to get through this. And it's an Oksana mirror. So let's see what they bring to the table.
I think Victor's going to be bringing Fnatic aggro. That's going to be my guess. Well, actually, no. On Fortress, no, that doesn't make sense. Why would
Maybe
you bring
bring
Fnatic? Aggro?
Infernos, I think.
No, Inferno. Yeah, Inferno makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sant with the
Rockworm
Rockworm again. Although this time Victor is way more capable of dealing with a Rockworm because he has Infernos.
Yeah.
Victor can also potentially win the game before Rockworms matter. He can, like, his deck is definitely capable of just winning 2 missiles very quickly.
Yes.
And the Scorpion is going to be great in this matchup as well because there's Bikes and Chuggy to kill.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I actually think Victor's deck is going to be great for this matchup.
I think so too, and especially having access to Inferno, which can climb over those rocks and take pads, that'll help him out. Rockworm can do the same thing, but like you said, the Inferno is going to be able to deal with it way easier. So yeah, I think you're right. I think I favor Victor quite a bit in this matchup. But well, to start off with here, we got a buggy coming up from Victor. Of course, it's going to shut down all these militants that Sant's built. It's going to be a bit of an issue until he gets to his War Factory, which I expect to see coming out right away. He has gone double Harv though, so he's really invested into going with the Phantom Rockworm plan. And, you know, that could be a good idea. Of course, the Phantom spam could be enough to take care of the Infernos. If he's able to shut down the Infernos in a timely fashion, maybe the Rockworms can actually hold pads. But let's have a look. So the Scorpion tank moving on to that bottom pad. Buggy as well is going to actually just take care of these Riflemen. Nice little dancing going on from Sant, but it's not going to be enough. Bikes get onto that middle pad as well, but with Victor clearing the Riflemen on that bottom left, the Scorpion tank just needs to deal with these Bikes, pushes those hanging on, those Riflemen sitting there, gets onto that pad, and that's going to be enough for Victor to take this missile.
Yeah, and Victor also gets a Harvester kill with the boosted buggy, which is kind of insane.
Yeah.
Sant actually is at
boosted buggy
Rockworm
doesn't-
now, but Victor is sending an Inferno to his base, and if he doesn't see it coming, then he's in a lot of trouble here, because a boosted Inferno is going to take out the base in 2 shots. So if
Yeah,
Sant doesn't see this coming, yeah, he sees it now, but it's a little bit too late. He's already taken a hit. He can't afford a Phantom yet. Here comes the Phantom.
Yeah, Phantom's
Oh, it's not going to be in time, I don't think. If the Inferno
No.
fires again, the game's played. Oh! Alright,
With that
fair
single
enough.
bike to help,
Fair enough.
that was very fortuitous for Sant. It was very close, as you said. It was really going to be one more shot. Even though it looks like the initial payload won't take care of it, it's the extra fire damage that would.
Yep.
So that's what he's got to be careful of. But yeah, no, luckily got that Phantom there with a single bike. The MVP of this game managed to clear that the Inferno with that single volley, so it was good. Losing another Inferno as well. In fact, Victor's stepping back a little bit here. This is not looking good for him.
Yeah,
but
he-
this double Inferno from Sant is going to be a bit of an issue, I think. And let's have a look. So yeah, Buggy can going to move on to the bottom left and hold pads. The Rockman Boosted getting onto that middle pad as well is going to clear that. Buggy will unburrow in time. It's so close. Oh, it looks like it will. But these boosted lasers are going to go down in one shot. Oh no, never mind. They lost their boost. So it will hold for a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. Victor won.
Yep, there it is. Victor wins it before the Rockworm becomes relevant. Second Rockworm cannot arrive in pad in time. Alright, here we go. Winners bracket, semi-finals, SRPSS versus Greenthrow. The winner of this, best of 5, will progress to the actual finals, which will be a best of 7, and they will start with a 1-0 lead over their opponent by virtue of being in the winners bracket. So a lot to play for here.
There is, for sure. Yeah, this is really where things start to tighten up a lot. You're starting to play with the best players here. You know, everything's on the table at this point.
Right, here we go. SRPSS with his classic Titan deck. Reno, Basilisk, and
I love
Confessor.
this. Oh, this is going to be great. Oh, I'm excited to see this. Now, unfortunate for Green that he's brought Confessors to the Razorback fight. But
Yeah,
he's brought Basilisk, so
I
quite like this.
think bringing the Basilisk is pretty reasonable if you expect to play against Titan.
Yeah.
But the Confessors just seem terrible to me. Like they're not a horrible unit, but like if you expect your opponent to be playing what SRPSS has played basically the whole tournament, so you can expect him to be playing it, it's going to be Razorback Titan. So why bring a tech unit that loses to Razorbacks?
Yep.
Like, why not bring, like, even Cyborgs would be better, or why not just bring Phantom in that slot or something? I mean, or just any other unit. Like, the Basilisk Splash I can get on board with, but the Confessors just don't make any sense to me.
Well, and he's got Stealth Tank, right, to deal with all that anti-air, so I don't know really what role the Confessors are going to play. They're clearly not going to be using their mechanic of boosting other infantry units. You know, maybe hold pads. I mean, they are pretty tanky units, but yeah, they're just not going to be that great overall.
Yeah. I think it's just this because of I think Less QQ has popularized this Basilisk Confessor combo. I think
yeah.
that's why people do it, but I don't, like, it makes sense on ladder. Oh, nice Stealth Tank hits the, I didn't really think it was going to hit there, but it did.
Yeah, so that's going to flip things around, and actually Green is going to take this first missile. So that was really well done for him.
Yeah, and this is actually huge because SRPSS is expecting this Titan to just dominate, but he's going to run into a Basilisk, which is going to make him real sad real soon. He's going to be like,
There it
oh my
is.
god, a Basilisk, what the hell? But the Basilisk isn't going for the Titans. What's happening?
But I don't understand this. SRPS has built a second Titan seeing the
What is Greeno
Basilisk.
doing?
Oh man, so I don't understand what he's going to do. Titan's taking care of both of those harvesters. Huge bounty for SRPSS, which means that he's going to be able to get these hammerheads coming out, and there they are. The stealth tank really has to clear this hammerhead, and it might do it. Oh, not just about. 2 shots off, which is good. It's going to just push it back, which is fine. But this Basilisk really needs to target these Titans. I'm not sure why he's having such trouble dealing with them.
I'm absolutely baffled, man. Absolutely baffled. There was a Titan going for his Harvester. He made a Basilisk and just didn't defend. He went to the middle instead and lost both his Harvesters, and now he's dead.
And now he's got to 2v1 with these hammerheads. Confessor coming out won't be able to deal with these hammerheads in a reasonable amount of time. Danger is actually healing it up pretty quickly, as we see here. Confessor does do decent anti-air damage, but it's just not fast enough. And you know, these Titans are actually doing a good job.
That was crazy. Like, Greeno just didn't use his Basilisk to kill the Titan. He just didn't. He didn't even try. And then the Titan got double Harvester kill, and now he loses. Like, I don't understand what he was doing. Why you put the Basilisk in your deck if you're not going to use it to kill the Titans? That was crazy.
Yep. And he's actually losing a ton of value out of these Basilisks as well, losing them to these Hammerheads. He's been getting 2v1s on them. These Confessors just aren't clearing them fast enough, and now the Razorbacks can come in and clean things up. This is, man, Green Throw's kind of living up to his name here, I gotta say.
Yeah, this is a huge throw. Huge throw.
Yeah. A little disappointed to see that, but, well, you know, SRPS is a really strong player. Titan's unstoppable, so it's understandable. Yeah, that's a reasonable choice.
Very sad. Very sad by what just happened in that game. Now, I don't understand what Greeno was doing at all. All right, here we go. Game 2, Greeno versus SRPSS. Greeno switched to EDI Liang here. We're on Scorpion Tail, which is basically upside down battlefield, so
yeah,
could see similar decks. I expect SRPSS is going to play exactly the same deck.
Yeah, I think so too.
Might see Greeno's obviously switched factions, so he's going to be playing a completely different deck. I wouldn't even be surprised to see a Titan mirror here.
It could be Titan. I don't think we'll see Mammoth Tank. Could even be Kodiak. Kodiak wouldn't be terrible, but it's still just not great.
Oh,
but,
Zone Trooper, okay.
Okay, Zone Troopers are quite reasonable.
Zone Trooper is a reasonable shot. Yeah, Zone Trooper is a reasonable choice. He also has the Sling is going to be really good in the early game here.
That's true.
So Sling plus Mohawk should give Greeno the first missile, and then he just needs to hope that the zones can beat Razorbacks plus Titans.
Unit ready.
Yeah, and I mean, after the delay between squads got fixed for Zone Troopers, I mean, I remember what they were like beforehand. I don't know about the Razorback versus Zone Trooper matchup, because I don't think Razorback was released at that time, so I don't think we've even seen that happen before.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it goes. I think the zones perform okay, but not great. Honestly, like the bug didn't make that much difference, because I think zones free shot them anyway.
Oh, SRPS pulling that drone onto that top head. It's going to stall for a little bit longer here, but Green's Riflemen are going to clear the Riflemen on the bottom. Slingshot coming out as well. Slingshot's going to be really good, but it needs to get onto the pad. Come on, come on. Oh, so close. There it is. Whew, that was close. But Slingshot will be able to deal with this Razorback, and it's going to move up to the top pad.
He doesn't kill it. Oh, and he missed microed it as well. He needs the Liang drone now, but he spent all his money on the Razorback.
Oh, it's so close.
And he missed micro the Sling again. He could have got on the pad with the Sling instead of stopping to kill stuff.
You know, this is the, I gotta say, this is kind of the funny thing about casting these games, is sometimes it's so clear to you what's happening, and you just want to jump into the player's seat and you know, make the right choices for them, but unfortunately, you know, the thing about Slingshot, and this is kind of one of the awkward things about it, it's kind of awkward to micro.
It is, yeah. I hate using Slingshots.
Yeah, so there's a bit of an issue there, but finally the first Zone Troopers coming out now. We're gonna have a look and see how they deal with these Razorbacks. So I'm not sure if it will win 1v1. It should very easily, but will the second Razorback clear it? No, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. SPS really needs to get a 2v1 with these Razorbacks if it can come out ahead on it, but so far not able to make that happen because the Slingshot is doing a really good job of protecting the Zone Troopers. So this might be the combination that wins Greeno the game. But having said that, we're coming into the second missile, and Green's about to lose his Zone Troopers. He's going to go down to this Razorback here, and I don't know if the Zone Trooper is going to be enough to get there in time. This Hammerhead's doing a good job of protecting the top pad, but finally goes down to that Pitbull. Now Danger coming out with that Razorback, and the Zone Troopers on the bottom wins that second missile for Greeno. Great comeback, and maybe he's going to make his way back into this game.
was a really nice play from SRPSS to tank that slingshot with the hammerhead for ages, but the slingshot does so much damage. It eventually managed to take things out.
Yep.
The problem now is going to be that Razorback plus Titan will easily beat Zone Troopers, because Titan infantry damage isn't terrible. Like, it actually does okay against zones.
Yep.
So the problem here is, and also the Titan goes and kills the Harvesters, and once SRPSS has infinite money, this is kind of how this deck functions. Yeah, the Titan just exists to give you infinite money, because you farm your opponent's Harvesters and break their economy, and then you're so far ahead in economy that you can do whatever you want, which is kind of how the deck functions. And here is exactly what we're seeing. Greeno has no money. SRPSS has 210. Even if he kills three Razorbacks here, it doesn't matter, because SRPSS will just replace them instantly.
Yeah, and this Titan's going to get a shot off on the slingshot, clearing it, which is really bad. He needs to protect his slingshots if he's going to be able to shut down these Razorbacks, which are shutting down these Zone Troopers pretty well. And this is the problem. The Zone Trooper slingshot combo should be enough to win against SRPSS, but SRPSS being a real smart player here, making sure that he's getting favorable matchups and using Titans to great advantage. And here it is, another one. He's going to send that No, actually, he's not going to go after the Harvester. I thought he was. But it looks like he's going to sacrifice this, perhaps? No, Landing Drone finally comes down on it. His Hammerhead on that top pad is going to shut down the Mohawk from coming in. Slingshot can't get into position, and this is going to be a game.
Yeah, I think we needed to see Greeno win that first missile if he was going to win this game, unfortunately. I think maybe he went double Harvester a little too early, but once again, Titan is unstoppable. Alright, match point for SRPSS versus Greeno. SRPSS is 2-0 now. Greeno switching back to Nod. I think one of the issues we're seeing here as well is people keep trying to bring tech counters to the Titan and then losing because their tech, because tech isn't, like, they're just struggling against the Hammerheads and the Razorbacks and the Titan combo. Where I think the actual answer to beating the Titans is to just win the game before Titans are relevant.
Yeah.
That's how you beat people playing tech units in general. Like, SRPSS is going to blind double Harvester and try and make Titans. Just play Nod aggro and kill him before the Titans come out.
Well, this is going to be Greeno's latest answer to this deck that SRPSS keeps bringing. And so he's brought Battle. It's basically, actually, this is the same deck that he brought in the first match, wasn't it?
No, he's replaced the Confessor with Phantom.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The Confessor is terrible.
Yeah, Phantom's going to be way better to deal with the Razorbacks and the Hammerhead. But he's got both Stealth Tank and Phantom in his deck. So I don't know if that's an overcommitment in deck slots. Maybe it is what he needs to overcome this, because the Basilisk should be enough to deal with the Titans, and then maybe the Stealth Tank and the Phantom pretty much deals with everything else, with the Chem Buggy to deal with the infantry. So maybe not an insane idea.
I'm not convinced the Stealth Tank is required if you're going to be using the Phantom as your anti-air. Like, I don't think you need Stealth Tank as well. But the Stealth Tank is better against the Razorback. And then the Phantom is something you can use when the Titans are out. So maybe that's his thinking.
So, of course, SRPSS having better early game took over this missile pretty easily. The Stealth Tank was an expensive answer to really what SRPSS had, which was the Razorback. And just was too much for the first missile in order for him to contest all three pads. So it made it very easy for SRPSS to take that.
Is why SRPSS won the missile so easily.
Well, that's true too.
Like, if you're double Harvester first missile, you're always going to get crushed because you're one pop cap down.
Yeah, that's very true. So triple missile coming onto this middle pad. Of course, the Chem Buggy survives with a sliver of health and gets those tip clouds onto two squads, which is pretty good value. Clearing both of them with the Rifleman 2 support. The Stealth Tank is actually going to be pretty decent from here on out, but we'll see what happens. First, now Titan coming out again. Can Greeno solve the puzzle this time and deal with that Titan?
Yeah, is he actually going to kill the Titan this time? Let's find out. No, he's going for the Harvesters. I'm okay with going for the Harvesters, but you really should be saving your Harvesters as well, and I don't know if Greeno's going to do that. He's immediately gone Phantom. Okay, this is pretty nice. He's blocked the Titan. He's doing some damage to it.
Yeah, this is much better than the first game.
Surprised we haven't seen another Basilisk yet. I guess he hasn't got a pop cap. Why make Chem Buggy? Anyway.
Yeah, Chem Buggy, very odd choice here. So actually Basilisk finally doing a great job here of chasing this Titan around. We got double Basilisk now. Should clear this Titan. Oh, Titan shoots a Chem Buggy instead of the Harvesters. So far Titans haven't gotten any Harvester bounties, which is great because SRPS is real short on cash right now. And actually, from here on out, I really expect these Basilisks to shut things down with putting them into position to deal with the Harvesters, to make it real hard for SRPS to come back. So now he's got that Pitbull coming to the far right, and this Basilisk is not going to be a great sorry, not the Basilisk. The missiles aren't going to do much. Langdorn's not going to come out in time. Phantom should clear it here, and now he's going to block these missiles from getting on. That should be missile here.
Yeah, and Basilisk can actually completely shut down the Harvesters on this map because they're in such awkward positions. it's very easy for an air unit to shut them down. So Greeno could completely shut down SRPSS's economy. And you can see how SRPSS's deck is like built around the idea of Titans killing Harvesters for economy. Because he kills Harvesters, then he spams tons of expensive units with his infinite money. But without the Harvester kills, he can't afford any units. Like, he's just sitting here trying to use missiles and pitbulls to fight basilisks. And Greeno is sitting on a lot of cash right now. All he needs to do is just take care of these hammerheads, and he should be golden. This would be a great... I was going to say, this would be a great time to go into the stealth tanks instead. He does do that, but he loses both his basilisks.
Yeah.
And now another Titan comes out. Oh, it's an absolute nightmare. Greeno can't afford a new basilisk.
So he hasn't been harvesting for almost this entire missile, which is exactly why he's lost all of his money. And losing the Basilisk was a huge loss at that point. And now with a Titan on the field, a Hammerhead, and a Pitbull, this is going to be pretty difficult because those Phantoms just can't get enough value. You see it went down there pretty quickly to the Pitbull and the Hammerhead. The Stealth Tank can't clear this Titan. In fact, I don't even really know what it's going to do. It's really got to go over and deal with that Hammerhead, but it doesn't look like it's moving there. So finally it's going to make it over there. This Razorback will clear these Militants though, and the Titan clears that Stealth Tank. Huge loss, and that gives SRPSS the victory.
Yeah, and Greeno loses that one because his Harvester was AFK for like the entire second missile. He just ran out of money. Alright, Victor versus Maximus in what is, I suppose, the losers bracket semi-finals? I guess? Right, the winner of this goes into the losers bracket finals, so...
Yep. Mate spelled M-E-I-G-H-T.
Yeah, man.
That's great. I love that. Well, speaking of that, so we got Maximus playing Fnatic aggro with Stealth
Great
Tanks.
choice. Great choice.
Pretty classic deck here. And then we've got Victor playing, well, SRPSS's Titan deck.
Yep,
So,
I guess, yeah, SRPSS really trailblazing here, getting everyone to play his Titan deck. Maximus,
of
like,
course.
this is what I'm saying though, like, one of the good counters to this deck should just be playing aggro. And Maximus is just he's playing not aggro, he's charging the pads. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. This is also not a good double harvester map, so...
No, it's really not. This is a pretty bad double harp map. So, yeah, I think like you said, Victor should be taken down by this aggro deck. We got good charging here from Maximus. We're over halfway charged, and it's only 45 seconds. That's been pretty good charging so far. These wheels have been getting really good value. Of course, Victor has to rely heavily on these missiles. Now finally gets a Pitbull out. That might be enough. Can these Fanatics get to that top pad? Ling's going to stall the missile here, and of course, Pitbull's going to clean up the wheels, but doesn't get the block on those missiles. However, the boosted Fanatics are going to chew through them. These bikes should get onto the pad here. It's going to clear the Ling drone first, but Pitbull moves off the pad. Missiles coming behind with Fanatics coming from the left. That's actually going to be, it should be enough here to clear the pads, but nice blocking from Victor on that Pitbull. Not letting the Fanatics get on there at all. These Fanatics clear the Militants, or the Riflemen on the top right there. And so far, Maximus not able to get onto this bottom pad.
Yeah, really good play by Victor.
Very, very good here, and this is kind of what you expect to see from the top players. But Stealth Tank finally gets on. Razorback can clear the Fanatics though, and now he's gonna flip the missile.
Oh, not quite. So close.
Not quite. Oh man, the Stealth Tank's gonna move up to the top. Of course, it needs to get onto the pad, and this Razorback's gonna move over down to the bottom. No anti-air there at all, but Stealth Tank's gonna move down.
No, he wasted a missile. That's it. That's like Razorback's gonna live now.
Yeah, it is.
Huge misplay from Maximus. Colossal misplay.
Yeah. This is why this map is such a pain to play on.
Yeah.
That middle missile silo with the two choke points, those narrow lanes, really makes it difficult to get to the pads in a reasonable amount of time. That Stealth Tank was just moving up and down, and never really got to where it needed to be. So, unfortunate there for Maximus.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. And also, I gotta say, I think that when Victor was blocking with the Pitbull, Maximus went Stealth Tank. He should really have gone Scorpion instead.
Oh, yeah.
Take care of that Pitbull. I mean, he did end up getting it with the Stealth Tank, but it was a lot harder, and then he had to reload and so on. And maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe because of the Razorback, it was better to go with the Stank. I'm not sure. But yeah, once Victor wins that first missile, it's such a big difference, because now he has time to go for the Titan plan.
Yeah.
And yeah, here is the Titan.
Exactly what we're about to see.
You see, Maximus is going to win second missile. And again, Liang's stall. Liang is so frustrating.
Oh, that was almost close. That Titan nearly got that second shot up on the Stealth Tank. Great micro from Maximus to get out of dodge. As Fanatics get onto the bottom pad, which will hold long enough against the Razorback with the wheels there. And that gives him the second missile, but you know, this isn't a good game plan here for Maximus. This third missile is going to be a real challenge.
And this is exactly what we're talking about. Like, if he'd won the first missile, then he just wins the game now. But because he lost the first missile, now he has to beat Titans for 2 missiles. And killing a Titan is basically impossible. Like, that's the whole point of them in the deck, is killing them. Like, they don't actually do that much a lot of the time, unless their opponent is making lots of ground vehicles, which in this case they are. So they're actually going to be fantastic. But usually they're just indestructible. And yeah, there's two of them now. There's 2 pads. That's 1 Titan per pad. So Maximus, there's nothing he can do anymore. The game is over.
Yeah, he doesn't really have any good units to fight it. The Scorpion tank's probably his best option with lasers to back it up. But as we see here, Titan nearly nearly 1 shots it, leaving it with 1 sliver of health, and that's just not going to be enough. Stealth Tank getting 1 shot is really the big problem here. Stealth Tank just can't survive long enough to get any value. So these 2 tanks coming on the bottom, they might clear the Titan, but it's just not going to be enough. And there it goes. But that top pad is also being secured by a Titan. So yeah, this is not gonna work out for him.
He can barely take out 1 Titan. There's no way he can kill a second one, and also Victor has 400 TIB now, so he could just build like 3 more Titans if he wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that first missile. If you lose that first missile, then you're dead. That's it. There's nothing you can do. Like, once you lose the first missile, if you're against a tech splash, you're dead. Game 2, Maximus versus Victor Bansamer. So we see Victor playing Liang. I think we're probably going to see the same deck from him. Maximus is playing Jade, which is a great choice against what Victor is doing, but we're on Slashed Fields, which is... I think Slashed Fields is arguably the best tech map in the game. It's definitely like top 5. There's like a couple of maps that are maybe better, but this is absolutely one of the best. And it's very hard to get a Jade Missile on this map as well, because these rocks that block access to the base and then your Harvester creates a natural wall as well down here. So you only need to block like 2 tiles, really only like 1 tile. You're double harvesting to stop a chem getting to your base. So whilst I think Maximus has gone for a great strategy against Victor, I think this map is going to be really difficult to pull it off.
Yeah, I agree. I know we were talking about Jade being a reasonable counter to Victor's deck, but you're 100% right. This map is not great. When you have an open map like Tug of War, for example, where it's easy to go from the paths to the base, yeah, it works very well, but not here. So
this is going to be tough for Maximus. He needs to be charging these pads constantly. I actually think also the wheels are worse than militants in this matchup, because you need to 2v1 missiles with wheels, which costs you additional pop cap, whereas if you had militants, you just need to 1v1 everything constantly. But he's gone Scorpion early against the Pitbull, which is great for him, and you can see what a difference it makes. He's going to easily clear this Pitbull, easily takes the missile, and this missile is at 46 seconds. Like, that's very quick. Only like about 10-second delay on the fastest missile you can possibly fire. So yeah, really good for Maximus. And now here comes the chems. He's going to go for the chem base bomb. Obviously, Victor is going to respond with this Razorback, but Maximus is playing the Fanatics and the Stealth Tank. So this is exactly what I was talking about earlier with Fanatic Chem Stealth Tank. Lets you play Fanatic Stealth Tank against the Razorbacks, and then you have chems to bomb the base. So yeah, really interesting to see this.
Yeah, and this should be enough here. We've got that Stealth Tank coming out, clearing the Razorback in 1 shot, so a lot of lost value there for Victor. Of course, the Chem Warriors that it chewed through also got value, so in general, I would say Maximus came out ahead there. And now we got another set of Chem Warriors coming out. The Stealth Tank is going to prove to be a big problem, since Chem Warriors survive long enough against the Razorback that they can clear these missiles in a timely fashion. And the Stealth Tank should live around long enough to clear the Razorback. Like, look at how long it takes for that Razorback to actually chew through them. That's quite a lot of time.
Yeah, but Maximus' Stealth Tank is nowhere near. Like, he's not supporting his chems. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, that is a big problem here. So it's reload. It's going to clear this Razorback. Will the Pitbull clear it in time? No, doesn't really matter though. The lane drone coming out held that far right pad against the tank, and well, that gave Victor another missile.
A massive throw from Maximus. Absolutely massive throw. Yeah. He had 2 Chem Warriors and a Stealth Tank. All he needs to do is keep them together to kill the Razorback and the missiles. And instead he split them up and lost both of them. Like, it's such a colossal throw. Now he's trying to go for the base kill, but Victor has a wall of units. It's going to be very difficult to get in there.
Although he could go for a tempo play here and go for the missile instead and clear the... Well, it's only going to clear 1 unit and get a little damage off on the Harvester. So
didn't even kill Titans with it. I mean, yeah, Maximus has thrown this game massively. Also, there was no need to make chems when he had the Stealth Tank. He should have made Fanatics to kill the lasers, and then he would have had boosted Stealth Tank to kill the Razorbacks. But now he's in this position. He's just dead. There's nothing he can do anymore. There's too many Titans out.
Oh, is anyone ever going to beat Titan?
All right, match point: Maximus versus Victor. Victor Liang, Maximus Liang. Suspect we're going to see Victor play the same deck again. Possibly just going to see Maximus play Titans as well, because, you know, if you can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, for sure. Or zone troopers. You might see zone troopers.
3, 2, 1. New objective.
Oh,
received.
Maximus has gone for a quad air Borka deck. Wow. Okay. That's
Interesting.
pretty spicy. I mean, I love it. I love it. I have no idea what's going to
Yeah.
happen here. I think it's a pretty good choice, honestly, because...
Yep, I agree.
Well, I mean, I think, like, the Orca or the Borka, probably the Orca should have been a vehicle instead. Because he's going to really struggle against Hammerhead plus Pitbull combo.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Borka spam is
Yeah.
definitely going to be his strategy. Borka, if he goes... I think double harvester Borka Hammerhead spam could be really good for Maximus here. I don't know if we're going
But
to see
that's not
that.
what we're seeing. Yeah, he's
Well,
only going on a single harvester so
I think
far.
he could go single harvester and then double after first missile. That would also be pretty reasonable.
Yeah, true, true.
Like, because you guarantee first missile by doing... You could also, like, we haven't seen anyone, like, you know, we saw Omni go for a Solomon base kill. Someone could just play Solomon and do
That's
that.
true. All right, well, the Angel coming onto that middle pad, doing what it does best. Orca's going to move onto the middle pad, though, and that should... Oh, no, he moves off the pad with the Talon. He's trying to deal with the drone. But actually, no, it doesn't matter now. The Orca and the Talon with the Rifleman on the top left will hold all 3 pads, and that gives Maximus first missile just over a minute to go.
Yeah, easy first missile for Maximus. Makes sense. He's up against double harvester with single harvester. What's going to happen now is Victor is going to make a hammerhead.
Oh,
He's going to kill the Orcas with the hammerhead, and then he's going to start making Titans and sending them at the harvesters.
Is under attack.
Now, Maximus knows this is exactly what's going to happen. Can he do anything about it is the question.
right.
First Borka
Okay.
comes out. Not sure about this plan. Like, you know your opponent's going to make hammerheads, right? That's like going to be the first thing they make, so I'm not sure Borka makes sense here.
Yeah, he has hidden it from the from Victor's view. I don't think he's actually seen it yet. Although these riflemen moving in should see it now. So yeah, there he's seen it. He's going to build a hammerhead, which is, yeah, I agree with you. The Orca bomber is a little bit premature because now he's just going to build a hammer to deal with it instead of going to Titan, which is exactly what Maximus really wanted to do.
Yeah, and here's the hammerhead mirror, but
Oh,
Victor has some
Oh,
support
no.
for his hammerhead. Wow, triggers the Borka and Maximus doesn't even move it. Doesn't get any value out of
Yeah.
that bombs. Pretty bad
Yeah.
time for Maximus.
Unit
it is, yeah. And so this actually this hammerhead's going to lose to this hammerhead with the Liang drone on it. So he builds a second one, and yeah, he probably win, but he's actually losing on the value game here. Talon was going to be great against these Razorbacks, of course, but we're close to this missile firing, and all Victor's done is build hammerheads. In fact, foregoing the Titan because, you know, we really know how good it is. But either way, these Talons, will they clear the hammerhead in time? He gets, one more shot off from the Talon. It's going to clear it, and he should be able to get onto these pads, but he's not going to be able to contest that far left, so this Pitbull's going to be a big problem. Liang drone coming down as well, but hammerhead's going to get blocked by that Talon. It only takes 2 shots to clear it, so once a hammerhead clears that Talon, these missiles are going to have to clear it, which is again going to take quite a while. So, you know, really this is the problem with a 3-pad map. You need people to get onto all 3 pads at some point, and finally does that. Those missiles getting onto that far left is going to be great. This should be enough to slow things down, and I think Maximus might overcome this victory.
cancelled.
Oh, maybe he's gonna be...
there
Jay
it
does
is.
it!
Oh.
The Titans fall! Finally, someone... Maximus just goes, you know what? I'm gonna play 0 targets for Titan. Alright, here we go. Maximus versus Victor again. Game 4.
Now, do you think Maximus forced Victor to change his deck up? I feel like he probably did, but let's have a look.
I don't think so. I
Oh,
feel
you
like
don't think
Victor probably... Like, that game was still pretty close.
It was, you're right.
So I don't know if Victor's gonna be feeling the need to change deck yet. He's also like, he's 2-1 up, he can afford to take another loss. This is also a good map for the strategy of Titans, so...
New objective available.
Yeah.
And you're right. Yep,
And
exactly
the
same.
Orca has been turned into a Pitbull by Maximus, which I think is pretty reasonable.
Yep, it's a good choice. Just having that extra option in your deck can really help, depending
Yeah.
on the situation. If he overcommits on hammerheads, a Pitbull can be really impactful, so... Okay, so to start this game off, we got double rifle from both players. Neither player going for their second harvester just yet, and I don't know if we will see that from Maximus or Victor. It's quite possible we may not. Although we are on Scorpion Tail, which is a great double harv map, so maybe.
Building
Talon coming up from Maximus this is a really good choice. Of course, again, Victor's got Pitbull in his deck, though, so he's able to go into it a little bit early, but this means a little bit further away from his Razorback Hammerhead plan. So as long as the missile doesn't charge too efficiently, he may not have enough time to get there. However, having said that, we're seeing the missile stall once again, and we're 50 seconds without the missile being even half charged. So that should give Victor enough time to build that helipad and get to his air units pretty quick here.
Yeah, and I don't really like Maximus going into the Talon there because it just allowed Victor to respond to a Pitbull, and you can see the Talon
Yep.
really wasn't very good, honestly. And then Maximus had to go third building to fight the Pitbulls. So, yeah. not going super well for Maximus here. I think he overcommitted into this air way too early.
Yeah, I think so. Well, finally, the missile's just about to fire. We got Pitbull holding steady. He's going to lose two. That Pitbull does. Lane Drone coming down from Victor as well. He's going to hold that top pad. Talon coming out will be good against these riflemen. Of course, Pitbull coming behind will be able to deal with them both. Doesn't get the block on those riflemen, unfortunately, so he's going to hold on to this pad for a little bit longer. These missiles on the top pad will also hold steady. And as soon as he clears these riflemen, that should give Victor the missile, but it's not looking too close. And now an Orca Bomber coming out as well is going to clear this entire top or bottom pad with all those units congregated together. Talon coming up to that top pad will also help a lot, but this Orca Bomber now losing its load means that it's not going to reload right away, and I think it's going to go down to these Pitbulls, and it does. And actually it looks like now I think Victor should take this. Yep, Talon's going to go down real quick. Pitbull's going to hold that top pad, and there we are. Victor's now going to take this first missile.
And immediately double harvests. Yeah, Maximus just didn't really have a good answer to these Pitbulls. He just got outplayed in the Pitbull mirror. So
He did.
If he'd won the Pitbull mirror, then he would have won that missile, but instead he just kept making air units. They kind of struggled against the pits. He got too far behind, and yeah, here comes another Orca Bomber, but I mean, he's probably going to look to kill his own harvester here. No, he's actually going along the side to be careful not to, but then he doesn't take out the Pitbulls, so this one's over. I mean, Victor's deck is, like we said before, it's all based on this getting a huge economy lead, and now he has a gigantic economy lead, so I don't really see how Maximus comes back.
Yep, I agree. Well, and part of the problem too is Maximus has gone with the single harvester this entire game. Victor went for two harvesters, and he did it at a pretty good time because now the economy is really swinging over to his side. And as you see, he's got all the money that he needs. Titans come out, he's got Hammerheads, he's got Razorbacks. This Orca Bomber just can't do anything. Look at it. Has no targets, except for the Titan, of course.
There's too many Hammerheads in the way. Maximus spamming Talons to try and come back into this, but Talons do not actually beat Hammerheads very efficiently.
No.
Hammerheads
clear them in 2 shots. So
Phantoms you can fight efficiently because they have lower hit points, but Hammerheads you cannot.
Yeah.
And you can see that Victor is way more comfortable with his Liang as well. He uses it a lot more often in a lot more impactful situations. Like Maximus almost never went for pad steals, and Victor did it every single missile. Victor versus Greeno. This is the finals of the losers bracket. So the winner of this will go on to face SRPSS in the total final, grand final, I should say. And the loser will come third. That's another thing I really like about double elimination. You don't need to have a third place match, because the loser of the losers bracket is the third place player. So I'm a big fan of. I don't really like single elimination that much.
Yeah, same.
3, 2, 1. New objective.
Okay, so Inferno versus Fnatic Aggro, and I don't know. This is not a matchup that I'm not familiar with, so I'll just leave the commentary to you on that.
So this is basically, it comes down to Stealth Tanks versus Infernos. I think the Inferno player is favored if they're good, basically.
Okay.
Like if you're a good Inferno player, you can use them defensively, and it's very hard for Stealth Tanks to get in. This is also a really hard map for Stealth Tanks to move around on.
That's
like
true.
This is a really awkward map for ground units to move around on, so I think Infernos are going to have the advantage here.
That makes a lot of sense. This will be kind of similar to what we saw on Side by Side, where the Stealth Tank was constantly moving up and down the map and just could not get into position.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Okay, so let's see what happens here. We get this first missile coming down. Of course, Victor got onto that top pad before the Fanatics get in position. This buggy should clear them, but this boosted tank gets rid of that buggy, and it's not going to be quite enough because... oh, actually, never mind. That was very close. This Fanatics cleared the lasers just in time, and now we should be able to get there. Oh, the buggy makes it there first. The fastest movement speed really making a key difference there, but these Fanatics are now going to get chewed by this buggy. Bikes are going to have to deal with them, and all he needs to do is get onto the pad, and wow, that one bike volley wasn't enough. Lives with a sliver of health, but he does finally get there, and they should last long enough. Now, even with the boost, I think it's gonna do it.
Oh, wow!
It doesn't make it there. That tank really came in clutch. Super close. And in fact, this has been the second time we've seen this where nearly flipped over the other way, but both of these players are really fighting for their hardest and almost making it. But it looks like Victor's finally securing that bottom portion. He should be able to get on that top half. Greenhill only has those 2 Fanatics with a single bike, which should be very easy to clear. But he's just not quite getting there just yet. And Victor, again, really concentrating on this bottom half, this double boosted tank, trying to get into position, does get onto the pad. Almost, oh no, it does get blocked by that tank. That's back off from the lasers, and these Fanatics coming in trying to deal with it. But actually, Buggy is doing a pretty good job of dealing with these Fanatics and pushing them out of position. So I'm really not sure who's going to win this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's so close.
Oh, Greeno finally gets it. 2 minutes
Wow.
missile. Wow.
Amazing. Really good gameplay from both of these players. You know, Greeno was fighting really hard, but the buggy actually made a pretty good difference dealing with those fanatics.
Yeah, the buggy was actually surprisingly good. Some clutch plays there from both sides, but eventually Greeno finally
Yeah.
manages to sneak it in.
Just barely.
Yeah, now Victor going hard on his Harvester. He's not going to get it though. His lasers and buggy are going to go down to this tank.
Yeah.
And
one
Harvester
shot
kills,
each.
Harvester kills matter a lot in this matchup because both players need to make 100 cost units. Like that's powerful units. Like the Inferno, here comes the Harvester kill immediately gets an Inferno. Could immediately go second Inferno if he wants. Reno's going to need stealth tank. Oh, he goes Scorpion. That's really bad for him. He needs an Inferno to counter this. He goes second Scorpion.
Oh no, these
Wow.
Scorpion tanks are going to be a big liability. Of
Yeah.
course, they don't get one shot by the Inferno, but it doesn't matter. Like a little bit of chip damage, and
Yeah,
they're going to go down.
trying-
As we
trying
see
to
there,
beat
the
a buggy.
buggy
Yeah.
actually beat it. Yeah. So stealth tank coming out. This will be good, of course. It's going to get uncloaked here, and it needs to take care of this Inferno. And the Inferno with the extra movement speed moves out of the way very quickly. But finally, looks like it's going to get into position and clear it. And oh, but no,
Oh,
wait a minute.
trade.
Inferno gets a shot off as well, so an even trade for both players, which is not good for Greeno. And he's not going to be able to get onto these pads. The buggy's going to hold steady. Bikes won't be able to push on, and that's it. That's going to be the second missile there.
Really surprising. Like, it felt like Greeno kind of, I don't know if he lagged or something. It felt like he just stopped for a couple of seconds during that missile. Maybe he was just like
Yeah.
paralyzed by indecision. I don't know, but yeah, these Infernos. Ooh, look at that bomb! Flying a million miles. And yeah, this is what I was saying about the Infernos having the advantage. It's really hard for the stealth tanks to get into position against them. And here comes this. I think is actually just broken. Like the ability of the Infernos to do this. When they're unloaded, it's very easy to drive up to a base, and then they almost insta-give it like 2 Inferno bombs, and the base is almost dead. Yeah, I actually think this is a little bit busted. Yeah, both players get another Harvester kill there. Victor is sitting on 200. All he needs to do is chip this base to win.
Yeah, he's not really making a push for it, but although
Yeah,
we've
here
seen
comes double
double Inferno
Inferno
coming out, so this is it. Flight of the Inferno coming out. They're going to try and make it over to the pads first, though it looks like. But you know, really, he should just go over to the base because it would take one shot and it's done.
I think he knows. I think he knows that the Infernos, with the slow movement speed of a loaded Inferno, is not going to make it to the base in time.
Oh,
he
that
gonna
was
get
a
it?
really bad
Oh, just
trade.
about.
Oh my goodness, so close, but these bikes are going to go down to that Inferno just reloaded in time. This boosted tank is really holding steady, and it's going to be able to block this buggy, but we'll be able to stop this tank from getting on there. Looks like the tank's going to get one more shot, and it goes down. Lasers move into place, and yeah, that's going to be Victor's victory.
Greeno lost his Harvester at some point, never rebuilt it, and that's the end of that.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Second game. Victor up 1-0. We're on open prairie now. Both players playing Liang this time. I think probably the previous map, both players wanted fast mobile decks. That's why they're both playing
Right.
Nod. This time it's open prairie. Both players want us a little slower. I think we're definitely going to see the Titans from Victor again. I'm interested to see if Greeno mirrors Titan or if he tries to play a deck that counters Titan. We've seen a lot of people trying to counter Titan and failing. So yeah, interested to see how it works.
Yeah, same here.
3, 2, 1. New objective.
Yep, there is
received.
Victor playing the exact same deck we always see. Greeno's gone. I like Greeno's deck a lot. He's got Grens for Titan. He's got Slingshot for the aircraft. He's also got Mohawks for the Titan. I mean, I know I've said this a lot of times. I really feel like Greeno should be able to win this one, but often the person who's better at the game wins. And I don't know who.
Yeah.
Like Victor is a very good player. I think. I don't want to be.
Thanks for the good rivals
Not trying to be
content.
mean to Greeno, but I think Victor is still a better player than him. Like
Yeah,
I think
like,
Victor
you
is,
know-
I think Victor is top 5 or top 6 in the game. I think Greeno is slightly below that. I think Greeno is probably like the 7th best player in the game. So
Like we're at the top of the game right here. Like
Yeah.
these are some of the best players in the game, and you know, to say that Greeno is slightly worse, it's not like saying that Greeno's a bad player. He's actually very talented. He's better than the majority of players that we even see come through Coliseum, but. Yeah, Victor's just that little bit better. And so that's what we're about to see here. The Angel coming down from both players. Slingshot can't get onto the pad, though. Going to be blocked by those riflemen. And, yep, Victor takes the first missile.
and that's that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like both players went for the Liang steal, but Victor responded accurately. Greeno moved his rifles to the bottom left. What he should have done is left the rifles on the middle and used the Slingshot to kill the Liang drone on the bottom left. And that is like a very small micro mistake there, which has cost him the missile. And now he's against Titans down a missile. And now it's incredibly hard for him to win because once the Titans start rolling, Titans plus Razorback will kill everything.
Exactly.
Like
I mean,
Titans,
the
Titans will
slingshots might
kill
help, but-
slingshots. Titans will kill slingshots. It's almost impossible to stop that happening.
Yep.
And the Grens are going to go down to the Razorbacks once the slingshots die. So We're actually
Alright,
seeing
well,
second
maybe these
missile
Willie's
already.
Grenadiers do something, so they get onto that far right pad. These Pitbulls can't get there as well, and the Razorback will clear in time, and it doesn't. Very, very close, though. Slingshot, of course, was able to deal with the Liang drone, which is great for Green, so he has taken that second missile, and of course he needed to, but yeah, like you said, Blade, this is a Titan game, and we're going to a third missile.
Yeah, and that time Victor made the mistake there because he tried to Liang drone the bottom pad, which had a slingshot on it. He should have tried to Liang drone the top pad, which had Razorback missiles on it, because he was trying to get Pitbulls onto there. And if he had Liang droned onto that pad, nothing Greeno had could have killed it, and then it would have stalled out the missile and bought him time to get to the third pad. So yeah, both missiles have basically been won by the guy who didn't make a very small micro error. And wow, we see that Harvester survive. Triple Pitbull because of Liang.
I was just about to say
ridiculous.
that. Yeah, like unbelievable that 3 Pitbulls could not get the job done. So good for Greeno though. All right, well here we are, third missile. This is it, folks. We got Slingshot coming in from the back. Razorback going to move over to the far right, but we got the Harvester pull from Victor. Very good play. Can the Slingshot make it? Oh, it's so close, and it does. Very, very good here. The Slingshot might be able enough to contest, and here we are. This Mohawk's trying to deal with it, but of course the Grenadiers go down the far right. Langer can't make it in time, and very unfortunate for Greeno. He loses the game.
Slingshot just could not kill any of these A units in time. Like, it's crazy to see it, but yeah, Slingshot.
Yeah.
Just none of those, all those A units were just so beefy he couldn't kill them. All right, here we go. Match point. Victor versus Greeno. Greeno needs to win this one to still be live. Victor playing Liang again, probably going to see the same Titan deck. Greeno playing Jade, great choice. Interested to see if he can. The problem is people keep losing the first missile against these Titan decks, and then they're dead.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
you need to win the first missile and then cat missile the base. And it's also quite hard to get the chems to the base through Razorbacks. So yeah. I really think the power of this Titan deck comes from Liang plus Razorback more than anything else.
I agree. Yep.
Alright, and we see a pretty standard Jade deck from Greeno.
Yep. He's
Stealth Tank
just
is
running
good.
Stealth Tank into the
Yep.
Phantom.
Stealth Tank is good. I don't know if it's better than the Phantom. It probably is because it one-shots the Razorbacks. But yeah, Greeno needs to be aggressively charging this one.
Yeah, 100%. I fully agree with you. The Jade deck should work, but he's really got to win that first missile. That's going to be critical if he's actually going to come out on top. So yeah, Victor going for that second Harvester now, a little bit early, of course, earlier than we've seen before, but that's perfectly fine. Of course, in this case, I think it does make sense, but
I think it's madness. Against a Jade player to go double Harvester first missile, I think is madness. SRPSS actually told me when I was asking about his deck, he said, don't go double Harvester against Jade. He was like, go double Harvester against everyone except Jade and Solomon because they will kill your base. So I think, yeah, this is going to be rough for Victor. The problem is, the thing is here, Charlie's gone for chems, and Victor for some reason has not responded with Razorback, which I'm very surprised by.
He's got the money.
Yeah, now he goes Razorback. But here comes the Stealth Tank already. Greeno needs to kill the Razorback, not the Pitbull. Okay, great, good choice. Now he wins the missile easily. Yeah, so he wins the missile easily here.
He does take it very comfortably, and you know, from here, really all Greeno needs to do is just get some Chem Warriors over to the base.
He just needs to base kill.
Yeah.
All right, takes down the Razorback. Here comes the Chem. See if he can get them in there.
Oh.
I don't think he can. I don't think the second one might get in there. I don't think the first one's going to make it. He needs to establish more map control before he goes for the base kill. Like, he needs to have a Stealth Tank, kill his Pitbull, and then protect his Chem Warriors. That's how he's going to get to the base. And he needs to do it before a Titan comes out, so there is a significant time pressure.
Yeah, and he's really not Victor's really not that far away from Titan, so time's ticking, and you know, the Tech Lab only cost him 60 because he got a 4-building deck, so he's really not that far away from it. And he's actually, Greeno's having a lot of trouble getting over there, as you're saying. You know, he really needs to use the Stealth Tank to clear these vehicles, but he's losing them to stuff like Pitbull.
This is the same Pitbull that Victor built first.
Yep.
This Pitbull's been alive and shooting stuff for like over a minute now, and the amount of value he's got from that Pitbull was absolutely insane.
It really is, yeah. And he does have laser drones, so he does have something he can use contest, which would force Victor to build hammerheads. So I feel like that might be a good option right now, is to build those laser drones and contest against Titan. But instead, he's going for the attack bike plan, which
Bike's a good versus Titan as well. You can see, like, because the Titan only kills like 1 attack bike per shot, it's actually pretty good to bike spam against them. The problem is that,
of course, with the big drone, right?
The drone is an issue, yeah, and also these missiles. Is he gonna get it? Not quite. What is this cat missile? What is this?
Oh no!
Oh, why not missile the Titan, bro? Oh my
I was gonna
god.
say the Razorback has now cleared that bike on the far right finally, so that opened up the paths for Victor. And now he's got the second missile under his belt. And again, this is exactly what we've seen in these games against Titan: is that once you get to the third missile, it's nearly impossible to win.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, Victor was holding, like, he was winning reasonably well even without the Titan. The Titan just comes in and guarantees you locking down the pads.
Yep.
But, like, it's the Razorbacks that are actually winning the game for Victor.
Like, look at this. Look how gross
Yeah.
Liang is. It's been healing these units constantly, and these bikes have had so much
Yeah,
trouble
Victor
getting
has
enough
600
value.
Tiberium. I mean,
Yeah, look at this. It's insane.
outrageous.
Absolutely insane.
it's just Liang. Liang is what's causing this to happen. Like, Liang is just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still surprised he hasn't gotten to laser drones, though. I think he might
Yeah.
have forgotten
Yeah, I
that he
agree.
has them in his deck.
I agree. I think he's forgotten they're in his deck. And this is the other thing, is people are playing these decks they're not comfortable with to try and fight Titans, because the Titans are beating their comfort decks, and they're just playing them badly. Like, people are just playing badly against the Titan deck because they don't know what they're doing with their new deck. Like, he still hasn't made laser drones. He's just making bikes. Surely at some point against the Titans you should be making laser drones.
You would think, right? Especially now.
And there's triple
Because at
Titan on
this
the
point in
field.
the game, there's no way he has enough time to build a hammerhead, so a laser drone here would be
He just
good,
cat
but-
missiled his own unit. Like, he could have just made laser drones and got back on the pads. He just didn't make them ever and just felt like he just gave up. It feels like people just
think,
give up when they see a Titan instead of actually trying to win the game. Alright, grand finals. Best of 7. SRPSS is 1-0 up because he's the winner of the winner's bracket. And both these players have just been playing this exact Titan deck, so I would not be at all surprised to see a Titan mirror.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the only other reasonable choice could be Zone Troopers or Mammoth, but I think we're unlikely to see that.
3, 2, 1. New objective available.
Okay, so
Okay.
actually Victor has gone with the Zone Troopers, even though we've seen this fail repeatedly. Victor has decided to go for the zones. SRPS
may
has
work,
played
I
the
mean-
Titan.
He's got Slingshot, right? So the Slingshot with the zones combined actually will be pretty decent.
I mean, we keep saying
and-
that, right? We keep saying that, and it
I
keeps
know.
losing. So
You're right. Okay, so never mind. Victor's got the worst deck in the world, and
the problem is zones don't beat Razorbacks. They just don't. So
Yeah,
the
that
idea
is
of
a
going
problem.
zones to beat Razorback Titan doesn't work because zones don't beat Razorbacks. They also,
Exactly.
if you have the Titan hitting both Zone Troopers, a Liang Titan beats Zone Troopers. Like if the Titan is hitting both
Yeah.
of them with its beam, so if it's on a lengthways, like left-right angle, then the Titan won't. The Titan will beat the zones, even though it's hard countered by them, because Titan vehicle damage, Titan infantry damage is way too high. So, yeah. I don't think zones is the answer. I don't think that's going to work. I think Mammoth would make more sense.
I think you're right about that. Yeah, like zones seem like they should work, but in theory it seems good, but just in practice they really don't. So,
Yep, just doesn't do it.
But look at this savage pop capping going on here. We've got these individual riflemen coming down. Laying drone to hold a pad, of course, and these missiles inch onto the bottom pad with that pitbull there. So not great. Of course, this Razorback's going to get some good value clearing these units. Laying drone goes down to the pitbull as well. And now all he needs to do is block. But however, the missiles do clear the pitbull. Razorback gets on there. Will it be survive long enough? Oh, it's so close, and it does. Okay, just barely held on long enough for that Razorback to steal that missile. So, yep, SRPS up 1-0.
Yep. Both players double halving though, and it looks like Victor is not playing the Victor's not playing Razorback, so his deck's actually a lot cheaper. He should have been able to get the zones out first. He actually could build 2 zones by the time SRPS had a Mammoth. Sorry,
Yeah.
a Titan. But the Titan is already here. And yeah, this is not great. The Slingshot just gets, I mean, come on, Victor.
Oh,
Come on, bro.
ouch.
You must know that that's going to happen. And this is the problem. Zones just don't beat the Razorbacks. And now the Titan kills the Harvesters. SRPSS has infinite money, and he wins.
Yep.
And we've seen
I think
this
you're
play
right.
out literally like 15 times today. And it just keeps happening, and no one seems to be able to come up with a solution.
Yeah, so here we are. So 2 Titans on the field, of course, one of them on the pad. Zone Trooper's about to go down to that Razorback, and it does. Titan's going to hold against these missiles, and actually he's going to get a little bit of a block, but no, not quite. Missiles, of course, just died to the Razorback instead. This Titan on the bottom left's going to hold very well. Pitbull's not even going to be a material difference, and yeah, SRPSS takes it.
Yep, very easily as well. I wasn't even remotely
So-
close.
Establishing
Alright, here we go.
control.
Game 2, although SRPSS had won the winners bracket, so he is 2-0 up. SRPSS only needs 2 more wins. Victor needs 4 in a row. Well, no, it doesn't need in a row, but he needs 4 wins.
Yep.
And now we're gonna See who wins this one.
See who's gonna win, Titan or Titan? This game I do fully expect to see the mirror. We're here on Castaway as well, which means Titan will be pretty effective. So okay, no, in fact, Victor's gonna try something else. He's gonna try Grenadiers, and I'm actually kind of surprised because
Yeah, I'm really surprised again.
if zones aren't gonna do it, why would Grenadiers? But well, who knows? I don't know. What's your prediction for this? I think it's gonna
I
play out
think
the same way.
SRPSS is going to win exactly the same way he's won every single game today.
Yeah,
I think it's going to play exactly the same way as every single game we've seen. To be fair, Castaway is one where Slingshot doesn't need to move around a lot. You
That's
can make
true.
the Slingshot and stick. The thing is, I feel like we keep watching these games, and what happens is the guy with Slingshot makes the Slingshot way too late, and the Razorback kills all the infantry.
Yeah.
Like, SRPSS goes to like 90% missile charge, sends a Razorback in, the opponent responds with Slingshot, which doesn't arrive before all the infantry is dead. Oh, nice block from Liang with the drone.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So Victor taking this first missile in as quickly, in as short amount of time as he possibly could.
Yeah, I think that was a really nice play from Victor to go for the Liang drone block instead of trying to respond with the slow Slingshot, which is what we've seen fail repeatedly. It was a much nicer play to just go for the block. But now, of course, we're going to see the Titan come out. Yep, Victor's...
Yeah.
Oh, he's making Grens into a Razorback? That's insane!
Ooh, yeah,
gonna
that's
lose,
not
like,
good. He
2
lost one
models
model so
here.
far. And yeah, you're right, 100% lost 2 models.
Basically just
And now
suicided
Titan's
that
coming
squad.
out. Doesn't really have a way to defend against this Titan. He's pushed the Slingshot up too far. He needs to be careful here. He's gonna... Oh, God, he's got to get out of the way. But actually got real lucky there that the Titan targeted the Grenadier as it was moving down and didn't get it at the Slingshot. So it's gonna survive. The Sling drone coming down maybe a little bit early, but actually not too bad because SPS doesn't have a great way of dealing with it except for this Pitbull. Grenadier's moving around as well. He needs to take care of this Pitbull. Will it be enough? Now we've got a Liang drone coming down here from SRPSS, but it goes down very, very quickly to the Slingshot.
The Grens
Titan
are
won't be
doing
able to
work.
hold on long enough. Oh, they're actually holding on, and wait a minute. Can these missiles move onto the top pad? There they go. Slingshot coming in from behind. He needs to be very careful, though, and make sure that it doesn't get shot by this Titan if he's going to allow it to get some value. However, unfortunate because now the Titans push forward, and that moved the Slingshot away. Grenadiers can't do anything, and yeah, SRPS took the second missile.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing we've seen happen every single game. I am actually baffled that people keep trying to counter this strategy with things that just clearly are not going to work.
Yeah, you need to use something that Razorback cannot deal with,
Yes,
basically.
that's literally it. You have to play something that Razorback doesn't deal with. But then, like, what are you going to make? Because, like, whatever you make will die to Hammerhead instead, or Titan. There's nothing that beats Titan and doesn't die to Hammerhead or Razorback. That's the whole point of the deck. That's why the deck works.
Oh, this is nutty.
You have to just play a base kill strategy. I think that's the only strategy that will work against this at this point.
Yep.
But we've seen
So
people
here
try
as-
that and fail as well. So maybe that's it. Maybe this is just maybe this is the ultimate deck.
It could be. Well, and so far SRPS is holding things down. He's got that Titan, 2 Titans on the pads with a Pitbull on the back. Razorback coming in as well to deal with his infantry, and Victor can't do anything about it.
Absolutely crazy to keep seeing this happen.
Unreal.
Maybe this is the ultimate deck. I don't know. Here we go.
This is
Match
it.
point. SRPSS is 3-0 up. Victor needs 4 in a row to win this event. SRPSS, I guarantee you will be playing the same deck. Victor
Yep.
for sure is playing Infernos, given that he's playing Oksana here.
Good answer, though. I think Infernos make a lot of sense.
Yep, I think it's a perfectly reasonable strategy.
Yep. And which server are we on? We're on...
This is on North America.
Oh, is it North America? Okay.
New objective.
Oh,
Alright.
yeah, because this is the 3rd game we played so far.
Victor playing a fairly competent deck. His flex slot is on Stealth Tank this time to deal with Razorbacks. SRPSS obviously playing exactly the same deck. Blind Double Harvester from both players. Gonna be a slow one, boys.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
if this
we're
is a
just
good
gonna-
idea for Victor. I think Victor needs to win the first missile quickly. I think if the game goes
Yeah.
super late, then he gets overwhelmed by Hammerheads and Titans.
Well, almost certainly that he's gone with Double Harvester. He's basically committed to dealing with Titans. Like, there's no way he's going to try and win this early. So we'll see how that plays out. The Infernos should be able to deal with the Titans, but you know what? I mean, SRPS is a great player. He's got Hammerhead and Pitbull in his deck. So yeah, it's going to be challenging regardless, but you know, it may work out.
I actually don't know if Inferno will deal with Titan. I think the Liangdra
know
will heal
either.
the Titan more than the Inferno deals damage to it. Like, before the
Yeah,
Inferno
you're
reloads,
right.
the Liang will have healed it fully. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So we're a minute into the game. Of course, the missile has not really been charging that much. You see, we're just at the halfway mark, which means that this missile, if it keeps charging, should fire at about the minute 25 mark. And we're slowly inching towards that. We got SRPS pulling his helipad out to get the Razorback coming out. Boosts his stealth tank, though, should get into position and clear it right away. There it goes. Oh, actually needs one more shot, and he gets it finally. Harvester
half
pull
as well.
from Victor.
Nice.
Nice play. Very nice play. Lane Drone can't do anything, of course. Only 2 pads taken, so that gives the first missile to Victor. But like I said, we're at about just under win at 30 there for that first missile.
Cost him a lot of money to pull that Harvester, but I think it's probably worth it to get that missile.
I think so.
Although actually these games are about economy, they're not really about winning the missiles, they're just about economy. Because none of these games have ended quickly enough for it to be about the missiles. It's always
That's
come
true.
down to the economy, so yeah, Victor.
So very
Ooh.
nice there.
Oh, loses both stealth tanks.
Oh my god!
Ah!
I was just about to compliment Victor on the fact that he managed to take down the first Hammerhead with that stealth tank, but then he loses both stealth tanks in one shot. Oh god!
He's in so much trouble now.
Unreal. Oh,
Now he has
boy.
to kill a Titan and a Hammerhead, and he's pretty broke as well. This Titan's. I'm surprised the Titan isn't farming these harvesters. Double Hammerhead.
Oh, just wait. Just
What
wait.
is Victor doing? Why is your Phantom attacking 2 hammers?
I don't know what to say. Well, here we are. Inferno's going to get a shot up on the Titan. Won't be enough, though. Hammerhead's going to clear this Inferno. The fire damage won't be enough to clear it in time. And yeah, he's lost an Inferno. Titan's going to move over, take care of the Harvester in 2 shots. And this lane drone's going to move over. It looks like he can start healing the Titan. Of course, his laser could just clear the drone right away before it gets any too much value. So there it goes. But yeah, he doesn't have a really good way of dealing with the Titan anymore. His economy's been completely shut
Yep,
down.
it's over again.
Azrael has buttloads of money. And yeah, I think this is game.
Can't believe we just every I don't think Titan lost a game today. Maybe
lost
once. It lost once. Yeah, lost once to a quad air deck. That's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maximus played that quad air
Yeah.
deck and managed to take it, but
Absolutely crazy. And yet, also no
Well,
Titan
folks-
mirrors. Like Victor made it to the finals by playing Titans, and then just stopped playing them once he was in the finals, and instead chose to lose to them. I don't really understand that.
yeah, I agree.
Like, why, if you were winning with Titans every single match, why abandon them when you get to the last round? So yeah.
Well, let's try and make this game exciting here. So we've got SRPS with the Titan and on the bottom left there. And what Victor's trying to do is spam these lasers. He's got a little bit of time here on the clock, but one Razorback and all these lasers are going to be immaterial. And of course, as you said before, the Titans have great infantry damage, as we see. It's actually chewing through them a little bit, but it doesn't matter. He's just not able to get to these pads. SRPS is going to take it pretty comfortably, and he's now the victor of this tournament. Congratulations to him. Well done. Titan MVP or OP, I don't know which. But either way, SRPS, a dominant player, taking down Victor 4 games straight, well, 3 games straight with that extra point on the winner's bracket. And well done.
And there it is. SRPSS wins. I don't think he lost a single game. I think he played the same deck. The only changes he made was Pitbull for Mohawk occasionally. I don't think he lost a single game playing that Titan deck.
And Blade, thank you for putting this on. This is these tournaments are always a lot of fun, especially for the players. Good to have more competitive content for the game as well. So thank you, especially to Sarpedon and Kenny too, for all their management. Man, they were working their butts off today.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say thank you, Jeffrey, obviously, for casting, and big thank you to Kenny and Sarpedon, because they did a lot of work. Less so, obviously,
Yeah,
it was mostly at the start of the tournament, but they did a ton of work at the start of the tournament to get things running, to get all of the AFKs dropped from the tournament and so on. So yeah, really, really big thank you to them. Thank you for Sarpedon for the bot and also for the sponsorship. Sarpedon has sponsored this whole tournament, so really it's because of him that it's happening. Did end up being 6 hours, a little bit longer than I expected, but it was a good tournament. It was a good tournament. Yeah, I'm gonna give 4th place a small prize as well. Thank you to Soulstorm for that sponsor there to get the 4th place a little bit higher. Yeah, and thank you, Jeffrey. And I'm pretty knackered now, so I'm gonna head off. Okay, congratulations, SRPSS. Thank you, Jeffrey and Sarpedon and everyone in chat for making this happen. And yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna go. So thanks, everyone. I'll see you later.